Are you ready to climb aboard the dragon ship? To the Sheild wall, Vikings. Here we go. 100th episode celebration of the dragon ship.
I've got the power of Thor in my hands. Thunderous hammer that will sing across all the land. I've got the power of Thor in my hands. Lightning strikes as the storm through the valleys of death. Through the white thunderstorms, we ride on the back of our truckers in a fearless stride. Sons of gold, hearts made of fire, conquering lands, fueling our desire. Soaring agents and lightning in our eyes, united we stand. Strength won't compromise. From the east to the west, we sail every road with our warriors. Never feel alone. Landscape of freedom beneath open skies, the promised land where our spirits arise. We battle the storms and tides of the sea. Now we've arrived in the land we're meant to be.
Welcome to the dragon ship, everybody. I'm RP Thor, and today we are going to celebrate our 100th episode. Yes, it's been 2 years since the dragon ship set sail, and we have an amazing crew. We have been navigating the heavy waters of red pill hatred, and now red pill being attacked at every angle. We got 40-foot waves of red pill hatred coming in. All the OGs are crowded together. We're manning the oars, raising the shield wall, and we're bringing a fun episode today to look back on the last 2 years of the fun we've had producing this show called The Dragon Ship every Saturday, so we could replace your Saturday morning cartoon habit with the Dragon Ship and some actionable information. And we got an amazing panel today. We're going to look back on the Dragon Ship. Why did we form this thing? Why did this even happen? It was very haphazard. We have some special guests today that were actually instrumental in inspiring us to do something. So let me, without further ado, bring up our panel today. And let me just go through. Today, we have an esteemed panel. Look who we have today. We have a full crew, and we got an OG who was quite instrumental in inspiring us. We got Mike Steele over there in Las Vegas. We got Huds out of Philly. Look at there. We also got Nuke somewhere in the heart of Texas saying, come and take it. And then we got Glenn Laurence out of Hollywood, Mr. Hollywood, helping us on all angles and making sure that we keep the fire lit and that the beefs stay way high. And then we got Tarl out there helping out. We got Comeonemanpod up and coming. Damn, his channel's doing great. And look, Paul's actually in Valhalla Studios, which the Sons of Thor were responsible for putting together. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. And we got Donovan Sharp. And I got to say something about Donovan Sharp. Donovan Sharp joining us for the celebration. Amazing, because he was instrumental in inspiring. He invited me to the CME years ago to speak. You were, and I did not do the Dragon Ship. I just did a couple little broadcasts on RP Thor. I did not bring together the Dragon Ship at all. What I was doing at the time with MLD, other than the lectures and the courses we were putting together, Myron and I started at the same time. It was Myron and I would do these courses for MLD, and we got involved in all of that. And then when I went to the CME, I was doing a show called Dude Party with Jonathan. And Jonathan, everybody, Jonathan's doing great. He's going to come visit me in about 2 weeks. And he has taken a hiatus since last October. That's why he's not But he came out on Rule 0 last week, guys. We got him out, and I think he's getting the bug again. Yeah.
Wow.
So I got him back out on Rule 0, and we also got Troy Fanches back out on Rule 0 too. So he comes in occasionally. But when I went to the CME, I was doing the dude party thing, and John said he was going to put it on the back burner. And so I did a few hosting episodes and really enjoyed it. And then it was put on the back burner, and I had nothing to do on Saturdays. And I really enjoyed the engagement and the fact that, at least for me, I wanted to put a positive spin on this red pill stuff because we're attacked all the time and guys are beefing constantly. Hell, that's really getting old too. The amount of attacks and the debate stuff, to me, it's like, really, I mean, we got this red pill information is eternal. It's good stuff. There's always things we can talk about. So I wanted to start a show, and I based it on the old maxim of a rising tide lifts all ships. And I did this because I saw what you did, Donovan, with the CMA, bringing all of those men together that do have beefs with each other, but they set them aside for a greater purpose.
Right.
That inspired me to start the Dragon Ship.
No,
we did a couple of episodes on the Dragon Ship, and then we changed the name to the Elders Council for a month or two, and then we went back to the Dragon Ship. And we keep that metaphor of a rising tide lifts all ships, and we are that rising tide. And we've had panel members come and go. A good friend of yours was instrumental in founding this, Donovan. It was Phil Foster, who always has an open door to climb on board. So it's been a really interesting ride. And if you guys didn't know, that metaphor for a rising tide lifts all ships was quoted by John F. Kennedy in the 60s. It's often attributed to him, but it's actually quite a bit older than that. If you think about it, it's actually based in that metaphor where, you know, Christ talks about, you know, do I give a man a fish for a day and feed him for a day, or do I teach him to how to fish and he feeds himself for a lifetime? It's actually based around that metaphor. Interesting point. It's kind of what the Dragon Ship's philosophy is. At the end, we always try to end with some sort of positive information. And I think that's attractive, and it helps a lot of the men. And certainly look at our panel has grown. People have come and they've gone. Thank you, Donovan, for joining us, and I appreciate your inspirational. You were one of the very first men I have seen on the internet. It was your radio show. You had some kind of a radio show. That's OG stuff, huh?
Yeah. It's been a hell of a ride, man. I had no idea that I inspired this thing. No idea, but I'm humbled, man. I'm glad that I'm able to be a part of this, and I'm glad that I was able to, and that's really what the red pill is about, man, is doing stuff like this. I had no idea that Mike was going to be here. Didn't know Alex was going to be here. Steven didn't know Viking Paradigm. Like, I had no idea that you guys were involved in this. No clue at all until I knew you were involved, Glenn, but I had no idea about anybody else. So that's amazing. I had no idea that that's what this was. I had no clue.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally we've had MLD, Miguel's come here.
Yeah.
So we've had all of them have come to climb on board before. We just have fun with it. It's very low key.
Okay.
Because we don't really need to be high key to enjoy ourselves on Saturday morning. Just a bunch of guys sitting in the garage having an early drink, you know?
Okay. Fair enough. Let's do it.
Okay. So with this, I know everybody wants to jump in here, and really I'll start the whole thing off with, you know, I had a video. Let me see if I can get this thing loaded and shared real quick. That I can share that was some of the favorite moments that I had when this started, and I can make comments to it. And then the other guys have some videos, and I want to hear from them what brought them to this content and what they enjoyed about it and what they'd like to see in the future. Like I said, we just finished 2 years. I can't believe that the CME was more than 2 years ago. Holy
yeah, it was back in 21 for the first time.
No,
the fourth one will be this year. It's crazy, right?
It is. Okay, video file.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm fucking crazy enough to do another one.
This one's gonna be lit, guys.
Man, it really is.
Go to conferenceofmasculineexcellence.com, right, Donovan?
That's correct. Yeah, tickets are going on sale this Tuesday. So,
and it's gonna be in Lake Tahoe, beautiful Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
You're doing it in Tahoe? I'm coming.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%.
What time of year, Donovan?
It's going to be in late October. I don't know exactly the date, but it's going to be in late October for sure.
Oh, that might be a fun thing to do.
Oh, the CME is an incredible experience, and to see what Donovan does to put it together, there's nothing like it.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's like I said, it is a labor of love. It's really quite incredible that it's just, dude, it's just, now I definitely get help from guys like Mike. He's one of my 3 ambassadors. Mike is a tremendous help. As a matter of fact, Mike, I think you were the guy who essentially saved the first CME. It was either the first or the second. It was the first CME, because I think you found us an internet solution. They were trying to charge us like $7,000 for an internet cable, and I think Mike he went he went somewhere and he got the right cable and he saved us $7,000 that the Venetia was trying to price gouge us on. So
it was an HDMI cable.
Oh my God! They wanted
to charge $7,000 for an HDMI cable.
$7,000 for an.
I'm in the wrong business.
Oh my, yeah, right. So Mike ran down the road, grabbed an HDMI cable, and saved me $7,000 because I was not about to pay. I was about to break into somebody's hotel room and just in.
Yeah, I would have.
Basically the reason was because if you connect your equipment to their infrastructure, the HDMI port in the floor, that adds to the rental cost of the convention room. But by going straight out of the laptop into a television, we bypass that cost.
God almighty, $7,000. This dude, $7,000. That's what I said. I was like, dude, I'm in the wrong fucking business, man. But yeah, I mean, I could not have done it. I could not do the CME without guys like Mike, Jay Blaze, Miami J, and of course my wife Devin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing. And I have to shout out Devin and you too from my wife, Missy, who has saved all of your YouTubes on, was it McDougal's drive-through husband or dating service? Videos?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, so
sharing that with
good.
girlfriends.
Yeah. Drive-through boyfriends, drive-through relationships. We also did one called the Husband Store. Then we did
That's a good one.
The Life Store. Yeah, those are always a lot of fun, man.
Donovan, she's sharing it with her girlfriend.
Are you kidding me?
No, they just laugh and they love the hell out of it. Actually, I think it's more popular with them than you know. Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, how about that? I don't know. Maybe I need to do a few more of these, man, because I really seem to like them.
Yeah. All right. Let me get with this video here and we'll shoot it up. See if I can get that shared. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and play this. Let me get to the player. Here we go. So is it playing, guys? It is playing. There may not be, there probably isn't going to be any audio.
Instead of communicating with them with feelings.
So let me go ahead and pause this real quick.
Knowing that
the first thing you guys saw was deleted from YouTube. Our first episode got deleted. So we had formed this panel group based on some of the old dude parties where we're just going to get together and talk about common topics. And we were going to talk about, with John Fitch and everybody else, why there are physical differences between men and women. And they're so strongly opposed by feminism. Like they think a 100-pound woman can defeat, a 150-pound man. And we had the 16-second clip of a woman just wailing on a guy, and then he threw a single punch. This was taken from a YouTube that was existing already, and I believe is still up on YouTube. But we clipped it and put it up as an example of the physical differences. And guess what? We got our video deleted, and I got some nasty emails from YouTube. So we had to rethink how we were going to do things. We weren't even monetized, so that's where we're at.
Who's that like gay-looking baby-faced guy in the middle, though?
That's how
Yeah,
Yeah, Laurence. This is the very first episode, guys. Very first episode that we put together. Essentially, the Dragon Ship was Alex and it was Cameron. Both guys had met through MLD, and I had put this together and brought them on. So, just as a real quick one, this is a clip from the very first Dragon Ship as I was forming it. Of course, it's all based on hypergamy and things like that. But this is
unfulfilled, and this really is a trend. You get some of the older gals out there that have their children, they raise up, they go to college. It's called empty nest, right? They lose their purpose because they've overinvested in their children, and they're not seeing their husband as that alpha that they do anything for. we talk about that too. She needs to see you as that top alpha. The children are one thing, but if she's running around, the children are everything in her life, and she's broadcasting that publicly right up until they go to college, well, guess what? You are not important in her life. Super important things that's on that proprietary analysis.
So that was the very first episode. I'm sure you remember that, Huds. I mean, here we are with common topics right there. So that was a pretty fun one. The next one we did is we showed a clip of who is this guy right here? I bet Donovan's familiar with this guy. This is my good friend Sterling Cooper, who I was friends with before he got red pilled. I was the first guy in this space that he had worked with, and that's his friend Stan. They had come out, and this is before we did any broadcasting, because one of the things about guys that are in this space, they value friendship and honor and all those things. Pretty much, you know, when it's face to face, way above what you see on the internet and beefs like that. That's more important to these guys than anything else. So if you take a look, let me see here. I'll play it. But we went out for a nice adventure, and this was some of the stuff we showed on the Dragon ship. We went out and we played with some firearms, expressing our Second Amendment.
Yes.
Over there, close somewhere in the Nevada desert, right? And we had a great time. So that was a ton of fun. And then we did an episode with Sterling. Unfortunately, I didn't have clips of that. Some of the stuff I had missed. I now archive everything so that we can see for sure. Let's see, what else do we have? So we had some fun.
You have Sterling Cooper. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Anytime, I remember when Sterling first broke into the space, anytime you even had him on, your videos would get flagged because he was a porn star.
I know.
It didn't matter what you were talking about. You could be talking about like, recipes for, your best chocolate cake featuring Sterling Cooper. They throw you right in YouTube jail for that, man.
They wouldn't they? And he's I'll tell you what, that guy is one of the best men I've ever met. Honorable.
He's a good dude.
He does all of that masculine dominant presence thing, but in such a way that he endears himself. And you can learn a ton. The guy's actually smart. He has 2 degrees, I think 1 or 2. One's in chemistry.
What?
Yeah, one's in organic chemistry.
Whoa,
Can you believe that? Yeah, exactly. It's pretty amazing when you realize the education of
like 304s on Fresh and Fit to get these. Now his degree is actually useful. The difference is he has 2 useful degrees and he still became a porn star. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So our 4th episode in, just to reflect everybody, I had Rob Says on and Joe out of Louisiana, both guys. And so, this thing was starting to grow, and I have a small membership that I was inspired to put together. And it kind of grew out of like the High Value Academy that Myron did. And I opened a small group where we have a meeting once a month, and out of that group, almost all of our panel members has been in. It's called the Dragons membership, and they come in. We do a 2-hour Zoom. I know Donovan does similar things with his group, or some guys do the Discords. And out of that group, some of the guys wanted to learn how to do YouTube. Maybe they wanted to put their foot in this arena and see if it's something they wanted to make a hobby or make money at. And so out of that group, that's where we bring guys in like Joe and others so that they can give it a try and become a guest member on the Dragon ship. So that's one of the things we like to do, is get those folks to come out here, take a look, bust their chops, learn some things, stuff like that. And look here, maybe 4 episodes in, here's 2 fresh recruits. Well, one of them's not. One of them is Raith, who was there from the beginning with me and Myron. But here is, who is that fancy looking
fresh fish?
I don't know, but he's really thin.
Didn't he look thin? Like he hasn't had any proper supplementation in a long time.
That shirt was like the best shirt. I got it custom made. It said, "I don't save hoes. I'm not that heroic."
Pretty good.
So I should tell the story of how I met this character, and I got my adopted Viking son. So I went to a convention in San Diego, and I spoke at a convention there, and who was standing there with a fancy hat on, just talking to everybody he could, was this guy right here. Kind of hit it off, and we stayed in contact ever since. He's pretty close. So that's
actually, I just came off the set because Paul Benjamin hit me up, and he's like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in Diego."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Cool." I was like, "I'm on this film right now." He's like, "Well, if you come afterwards, we're gonna be here late." I'm like, "Fuck it, sure, why not?" So I drove from set, still in, my wardrobe from set, straight down there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. But we had a great time, and we stayed in contact ever since. That was a hard place for me to go because Misty's injury was really fresh, but I was able to do it. And that was cool, man. I'm glad I got to meet you guys. So we brought in Glenn, and Glenn has been in there helping out ever since.
Causing problems since day one.
Causing problems since a bull in a china shop. But you know what? If you can direct that energy, it's an amazing thing. So, yeah, I'm sorry. If you look here, here's the old listings. In YouTube, you guys can find all those old episodes. Believe it or not, most of these things are very, very in line with Red Pill 101 because there's new people that come in. Unfortunately, we've all suffered it. Right now, it's those Red Pill guys. And we predicted this. Donovan predicted this. We were going to come under attack because we were the perfect bad guy when it comes to intersexual dynamics. We are a great bad guy. It seems like everybody that wants to get ahead in this logarithm needs a bad guy to deal with. So that's what's happening. But this basic information is still needed. I get new folks all the time DMing us. And look at there. Right there was one of the episodes that I did, the conference on masculine excellence featuring Donovan Sharp. So yeah, we've come a long way, but the Dragon Ship's growing. Some of the latest additions, we were super happy to bring Nuke into the Dragon's membership. He's been studying this stuff for a while, and he's making a lot of contact on X, and that's a big deal. Comeonemanpod podcast, another Rule Zero member. Man, his podcasts are amazing information, plus the release of his book. While we've been doing the Dragon Ship, he wrote a book, brought it out there. Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18.
Oh, wow.
That's a pretty cool book, and it's actually a really good instructional, and I was impressed enough by it that I read it for the Audible.
Or don't we have to? Should we tell Nuke like the real reason why we brought him on though?
Sure.
Like,
Diversity.
okay, it was affirmative action. Okay? We had we needed one person of color. You're the closest thing to a black guy we could find. That's what it was.
And that's why no one's been canceled yet. You're welcome.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's because you like anime. Everyone thinks you're white.
Yeah. Well, look at Diddy. They can't even indict him because he beat his girlfriend. And I'm just like, wow, that's really good power there.
Yeah, dude, literally kicked the bitch's ass.
And he's not getting indicted.
Nope.
So,
Let me get this. Let's get back to where we were here. All right. Yeah. No, Nuke's been a great addition, but I didn't know you were an octoroon there. So I just thought you were a cool dude. Didn't know you were a diversity hire.
yeah. You guys, honestly, they just picked me off the street.
Now.
Yeah, I was just walking and they picked me off the street. They're like, hey, dude, we're facing
Here's a
cancellation.
microphone.
Yeah, right.
Read these notes.
Connection.
Read these notes and then just show up here and we'll pay you later. And I'm like, okay.
Just say something interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something, Nuke. You don't have to. You're not the only person who gets called white. Interestingly enough, the people who call us white are black people.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not even black. I'm Dominican.
I mean the N-word version.
Yeah, and
you know what's crazy, Don? I get the same treatment, and I'm like y'all don't even know. Like I'm like 5% North African. I did my family genes.
You feel me? I can tell you this. I know that Glenn has fucked more black women than I have. That.
Oh, you damn right. You damn right. I mean, you can call me a colonizer.
Hey, he's out there slaying Big Booty Judy's out there, man.
And there goes monetization.
Better send some super chats, guys.
We don't do it for that. Yeah, super chat, guys. Hey, acknowledging everybody in the comments. I'm a little behind right now. Just having a little dyslexia, but you know what? Go and subscribe to everybody up here. We're streaming to all channels. Our pirate Red Pill signal is going out to Donovan. It's going out to Nuke on X. It's going out to Tarl. It's going out to HUDs. It's going out on my channel. It's Comeonemanpod. Subscribe to all these guys. Throw us some super chats. We will read them out. That's how you keep this stuff going. And we appreciate it immensely. Thank you for joining the chat. We'll try to engage as much as we want. Siege D, I mean, I got to call you out. You've sent some really nice super chats. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Mike was way ahead of me.
I got to say this about Siege. Hey, Siege D has become the low-key networker producer out there in this space. So Siege D has plugged me in with so many different content creators. Donovan, you definitely want to hook up with one of them. Her name's Debrava from Culture Club, right? She's over there on the East Coast. She's in New York, and like he's just well connected, and he just be plugging in good RP content creators with all these different people, just networking them low key. I'm telling you, the guy needs to get paid. Somebody needs to pay him. I ain't paying him because I'm broke. But
Glenn has helped
pay
me
nobody.
out. Yeah, Glenn has helped me out multiple times, man. Glenn is also well connected. He's humble, but Glenn is pretty well connected. I'm pretty surprised.
Humble? Wait. Are we talking about the same guy?
Because Glenn,
No.
he's got the gift of
don't
gab.
be
He likes
lying.
to-
Don't be gassing me up now. We all know I ain't humble.
I'm the one who's got to calm it down. Don't do that, Nuke.
Yeah, he's your problem. So.
He's my pet bulldog. Be careful, man. It takes so much, He only has a special diet.
By the way, that was the most gangster fucking intro I think I've ever seen, dude.
What do you mean?
Like, dude, the intro on the video intro with all the people's pictures and the music.
Oh, you want to
Huds
know the
did that
scary
one.
shit? You want to know
Huds
the
did
scary
that
shit, Donovan? That song was AI.
AI wrote that. Yeah.
Yeah, all AI.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Pure
Yep.
AI.
Dude, I swear to God, AI is going to be able to make me a fucking bagel out of thin air pretty soon. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Dude, Donovan, the guys here, like Huds and Mike, and those guys are really pressing the envelope. I actually had music written for me by a professional musician who happens to be my son. That's really impressive. But these guys put things together for me. For the show, it's for themselves. Remember, these guys are pulling on all the same oars I'm pulling on.
Right.
That's what makes this cool. And reach out because it's amazing. We had one that I laughed my ass off on that Mike and Huds had produced. If they want to show it just to get a chuckle, I am
The
all
100th
for it.
episode promo.
Do we need to be do we need to be careful? Do we need a viewer discretion?
No.
No,
It's
it's
hilarious.
good.
Is it here? Let's play.
I don't know. I didn't load it, but I was relying on you guys. They made a short, 15, 20 seconds. It's hilarious. Mike is an amazing voice talent. And if we end up finding it, I don't mind that we produce it. But I think, Donovan, you'll find it interesting because the intro these guys have been working on, we've been playing with intros for a while. I know that when we get to Glenn's videos, he did some promos for us that were pretty funny too.
I'm downloading it.
Okay, so yeah, these guys they put one together that was her. I know Huds did that was based on Gilligan's Island, and since we're the Dragon Ship, that was funny as heck. But YouTube went insane on it because we showed a 2-second clip of the minnow, even though the music was different. Yeah, they didn't like any of that, and I think they demonetized everybody for that video.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You would think you were showing like Marianne's tits or something. Like, what are we doing?
We didn't. Yeah, I know. That would probably would
the whole copyright thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been fighting that copyright thing for a while. You used to do these reviews, like some of these TV shows, red pilling people, Love at First Sight or whatever.
Love is Blind. Yeah, I did a really. They allowed me to do 2 episodes. The second episode had like 4,500 people in there, and then about halfway through, YouTube cut it off. I tried to do it again the very next day. Love is Blind. They axed it before I could even hit the live button. So unfortunately I had to paywall it. So
yeah, and that was really good content. Actually, that was amazing stuff because of your knowledge base. Yeah, so they're definitely eyeballing all of us. But for sure, did anybody have the video ready to go or no?
It's in the wrong format. It's MOV.
I can just share it here. Let me.
go ahead,
All
share
right,
it.
yeah. Just
Everybody
do that.
here is an admin, so you can do that. Till then, I can go ahead and we can work on some super chats. We got a bunch of them.
Oh wait, here we go.
Oh, you got
All
it?
right. I hope the audio works. I think it's set up right, so I'm gonna play it.
This is funny.
This Saturday, join Thor and the crew as they go on another wacky adventure. Who knows what's going to happen next? You'll have to tune in this Saturday morning on Nickelodeon.
Saturday morning cartoon.
That's my crew right there.
that is fucking G, man. I love that shit.
So that's the crew. These guys are getting so creative. I think there's a lot of good to come around for this crew. Remember, we only broadcast once a week, so but that gives us a good chance to comment on things and not get stale And then some of the guys are really up on current events, so they bring them. And we pass the host duties. I used to host all of these. And then now that we've done teams, we pass the actual host duties around to everybody, and they get to storyboard their own episode. So that's been pretty fruitful because it gives a different take on this Red Pill content when somebody's hosting and producing for themselves, and they'll give a couple of questions for the panel, and they're basically herding cats for the first time. It seems daunting, but I think it produces better content by doing that and not getting stuck all the time. But such is me. Let's go ahead and get to these super chats, Mike.
Yeah, they're coming in hot. Let's give Siege D a war horn.
Okay, I got that. Here we go.
Siege D with the $5 super chat. First off, congratulations on the 100th Dragon Ship episode. Now, two young guys, 22 and 23, here living in Florida. Are there opportunities for us as linemen, Thor?
Oh, 100%. You guys, if you go back in the channel, I did an episode. My first episode when I streamed from Valhall Studios was about telling you guys about becomedurable.com. I have a video lecture on board there. It's $88, which it happens to be the hourly rate at straight time that a lineman makes. And it's an hour long, and it will describe to you how you can prepare yourself to become a power lineman anywhere in Canada or the US for that matter. What certifications you should provide on your own, how to write. It'll give you a sample resume, and it will also give you an entire list of all of the lineman schools and the skilled trade schools and some of the charities out there, such as the Mike Rowe charity, that will pay for all of your schooling so that when you apply to become an apprentice lineman, it's paid for and they have job placement. So if you're curious on how you might pursue a career as being a power lineman, you got to be able to get up early, stay late, work in harsh conditions. Oh, you got to be able to work around nobody but men. I don't know if you guys can do that.
Oh, gee. The
I
horror.
don't know if you can do that.
It's very nice.
Dear.
It's very nice to like be able to say things and people understand you full face value. And you don't have to correct your tone or anything. It's just like, hey, asshole, can you hand me this? And they're like, yeah,
bitches ain't shit.
Yeah, here you go, fuckface. Yeah.
So the opportunities are totally there across the entire nation. And just to remind everybody, in by 2035, 40% to 45% of all power linemen will be over 65 years old. That's infrastructure stuff. That's delivering electricity on the biggest machine ever built, ever, which is the electric grid worldwide. I know a lot of people say it's the CERN or it's a spaceship. Nope, doesn't even come close to the electric grid. But the electric grid is so invisible, yet so useful to everybody. It takes men to keep that thing rolling. So yes, opportunities abound.
And
on top of
I
that,
work on it sometimes too, and it's pretty interesting.
My field behind the curtain.
Yeah, like I work on the equipment that Nuke services. Like I actually operate them on a day-to-day basis, and we just hired our first female employee over on one of the other two sites.
AJ, I got a story.
Hey, it's you know who it is, by the way. It's David Paul's girlfriend.
So you're just telling us that your company's about to go under?
No. Maybe the third facility will go under, but 1 and 2,
I got a story for
we're
you,
good.
bro. I got a story for you.
I was about to have a HR complaint.
Let's get through these super chats, guys, because we
Yeah,
gotta show our appreciation.
Right back to it. I want to get to Donovan as well. Yep.
Siege D with the $2 super chat. Thanks for coming on the Dragon Ship, Donovan Sharp and the Sharp Reality guys.
Excellent. All right, here we go.
Jawad, interesting name, with the $1 super chat. We appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Alex Pandino with the $10 super chat. There goes monetization. Tip.
Thanks for that.
Randall J with the $10 super chat. Love you guys. Keep up the good work, and I'll be back on board soon.
Oh, that's good. Let's give him a thunderclap. So, I mean,
I'm gonna hold Randall for that.
Randall's amazing. Randall was with me at the CME. Donovan, you know Randall very well. He's been on and around. I think he went to all of your CMEs.
Wait, which one is Randall? I'm having a hard time looking.
Randall is he is the guy from Arizona. He's got a long beard. He goes by Twist Titan on Instagram.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, gained it back.
He came to me with MLD, and he has been a core member. He's lost a lot of weight, getting himself dialed in. I know he's had some interesting things going on in his life, and we really appreciate him. He is one of our admins here, not only on the Dragons monthly membership, but also on the Dragon ships. He is one of the core team members. So shout out to him. Let's get back to these super chats. Get through them quick.
Oh, I did them all, sir.
Oh, you did them all. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Keep them coming. We appreciate that. Guys, I want to just go around the horn and ask everybody to tell their story of what attracted them to the Dragon ship. Now, obviously, we invited Donovan to come for the first time and say hi. Other than the one episode I did with him on the CME, he wasn't really wasn't a Dragon ship. But let's just start with Laurent. Did you got your audio problems fixed? I know you came to us through the Dragons membership, and you have just started to come out of Tokyo, so you get up early, and you're working on guest hosting, but your background is in finance, and you have some amazing stuff you're going to bring to us, especially around philosophy and how people psychologically think about money, and we appreciate that content. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's an honor being around you, gentlemen. And Donovan, pleased to meet you. I've followed your content for a while.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your wedding. And
Thank
Mike,
you.
You were in the picture, Mike.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
Kind of. It's not about me.
So, I mean, I was surprised to be invited into the Dragon ship. But I think it's about a couple of years ago when there was a bear market. Jimmy Miller and myself stepped up, and we thought, okay, guys are losing money and they're losing their marbles, so let's step up and help them. And ever since then, and Thor has been very instrumental in reshaping my identity. You know, nobody comes to the Red Pill very happy. We come because there's something bad happening in our life.
Right.
You don't get... Red Pill is a suppository, so it's not meant to be good in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole identity thing's a really important thing, and not the topic for here, but hell, my book's almost entirely, if you really boil it down to something about acquiring that identity that you've always wanted and making it part of you, you know.
Speaking of your book, the other day I have a beach house in Shimoda on the Inzu Peninsula, and I was painting the deck in my kite surfing trunks only, so you could see the Japanese looking back, what's happening there? And I was listening to your book again, Thor. So very few books are worth reading once or finishing. I mean, few books are finished, and very few books are worth reading multiple times, and every time it's like peeling the another layer of the onion. So it was really, really good to read your book and reread your book and absorb the principles. The privilege of simplicity is that Cocteau once said the privilege of beauty is that it imposes itself to anyone, even to those who don't understand it. It's simplicity, it's beauty. And so, such is your book. So I highly, highly recommend your book. Not only one reading, but multiple readings to everyone, reshaping their identity.
I'm on my second read of Thor's book too right now.
Well, thank you, guys. I really appreciate that. You know, going back in history with that, I had the entire outline and the chapters outlined when I went to the CME with Donovan. I think I remember telling some of the guys, I'm going to have a book out. But it took definitely 3 years to put it together, because to simplify and yet go into the depth so the background information, the footnotes, the research is correct, that's a hell of a daunting task. And then to simplify it, I also discovered that, believe it or not, you need an editor, and particularly you need a female editor if you're going to reach a broader audience. It's just the truth. They see things other people don't. This is one of their pluses. And not because the content, but because their language skills are different. I learned a ton of lessons putting that together.
They're also good at nitpicking. That's why.
That's part of it.
That's why Cappy told me, he's like, you got to get yourself a female editor.
That's what Cappy told me too. And I took all that stuff to heart, and I appreciated those guys jumping in and helping me with that, the forward and the introduction. That was cool.
And Paul, I recommend your book to everybody I come across. Last time I recommended on King Dre, like I did an intervention about the philosophy of money, and I heavily mentioned your book. Like, guys, you got to read Paul's book. Everything. Yes, it's a really good book.
You mentioned my book to Dre. Okay, cool.
Yeah, several times, and I mean, and every time I get a chance to speak about because the way you approach the money is actually really, really smart.
Yeah.
Really good. So hats down.
Laurent, I'm not going to let you get away yet because you've been a good member here, but you're also a well-known author. In fact, you've won awards for being on Quora. This is on your finance stuff. I mean, you wrote the book. That's right. You wrote the book a lot. I mean, read the title for us, guys. I mean, this guy.
I didn't even know that. I did not know that.
This is like a 1,000-page book in Python on writing your own basic programs to short sell and win. I mean, if you don't know anything about this man, find out. He is what's called a quant. Does anybody know what a quant is? These are guys that are very rare, but they play in the hedge fund market and they understand analytics above everybody else. Just so you know, this is one of the guys that's grabbed a hold of an oar on the Dragon ship, and he's available. So thank you, Laurent. Appreciate that.
Hey, Thor, you want to read that super chat?
Well, sure. Thank you. I appreciate you reminding me. It's hard for me to see, but good. Shout out to Glenn and RP Thor. Congratulations on the 100th episode. Donovan Sharp, love your show. Siege D. DeBrava. And this is from Culture Club, USA for $9.99.
That's who I said Donovan needs to reach out to. Because, like, Donovan was huge in Pearl's success, in my opinion. Right? Like, when everybody else was, like, not, like, jiving with her, Donovan was right there, like, supporting her. And DeBrava, in my opinion, is like the New York version of Pearl, but that likes to sing a lot and does karaoke and makes songs about other people. That's DeBrava.
I love karaoke. Karaoke's fun.
Yeah, no, you guys need to just go watch the clip that she did with me. She brought me on her show and she's like, guess who this song's about? And it was somebody in the space, and it was hilarious how she just made up the song from another song. It was good. Good work.
Cool. Well, that's great. And so we appreciate Culture Club. Hey, Donovan is going to be here, but he's not going to be available to talk right now. He has actual business. He said he did not want to go anywhere. He's having a blast. He's going to jump right back as soon as he can solve his business. So, guys, stay tuned. Donovan has plenty to add here, which we're very grateful for. So what we're going to do, Glenn, since you were chatting, are you in a position, do you want to talk about the Dragon ship and how you got involved and the beginning, and maybe even talk about some of your best clips? You have put together a montage of some of those clips, and they're pretty damn funny. I remember you did some promos for us right out of the gate. You and I were sitting here.
Yeah.
They were funny as hell. Of course, they'd get us banned, but they were funny. We violated all of the copyrights because we had no idea what we were doing, but we sure had some fun. Glenn Laurence, would you tell us how you got involved in the Dragons membership and then on to the Dragon ship as a you're one of the guys on the oars. You've jumped on the navigation wheel. You have hosted your own shows. You did a really cool one on accountability, which, you know, that's your background and your religious beliefs and all that stuff. You did a fantastic job. You've learned how to do amazing thumbnails, and now you've got the production stuff. Tell us about your experience on the Dragon ship and what you like conveying most here.
So I got kidnapped. And then I had to watch a whole bunch of like Viking movies.
Oh god. And
then like I had to learn how to axe throw or they wouldn't feed me. But then I think it's called like Stockholm syndrome is what happened. No. Long story. No, so I met Thor at Hot Dude Con in San Diego. I was there with Paul Benjamin. That's where I met Offie Kingdom and Thor. And it's funny because, like, you know, normally when people go to these things, they go there for the person that's throwing it, right? Well, I knew of MLD, but I didn't know him that well. And I actually ended up meeting these guys, and I've been working with these guys ever since, nonstop. Thor, a couple weeks later, asked me if I would like to come on the Elders Council. That's what it was called back then. And I did, and that's when I first met up with Aaron Clary.
You were the youngest guy.
Yeah, I was the youngest guy on there, and Aaron didn't say one word to me. I said hi, he ignored me. It was great. And then Thor brings me on, asked me if I want to be a panel member. And I was excited. I was like, yeah, this is cool. I remember shortly after getting on, I ended up getting into this heated debate with this guy named Kevin Ray Wilder.
Yeah.
And this guy hated anybody in this space and tended to be like a troll that would like send trolls and like just cause a whole bunch of problems. So I remember like I just get on the dragon ship, I'm excited, and then I'm like, man, you know what, I'm gonna have to get off this dragon ship because I'm about to bring a whole lot of shit to their door.
Negative stuff. Yeah.
So I remember hitting the guys up. I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna have to bow out for a while because I'm about to have this debate with this guy, and I don't think it's appropriate to bring whatever beef that's coming my way for defending Rollo's book at your guys' doorstep. And the first thing Thor said is like, you ain't going nowhere. We're standing right here with you. That shit can come right here. We're good. And the guys helped, me prep for the debate. And I was like, oh shit, they want to go to war with me? They want to be in a foxhole with me? All right, these are the kind of guys I like fucking with. And that's kind of how it started. And just that's what it's been ever since. When you find a group of guys that's like, yo, we're not going to step aside just because you're in some hot water. Actually, we're going to step in the hot water with you and get you through. We're going to all get through this. That's that rising tide. That's that mentality of like, no, they're not going to jump ship when things start getting a little, spooky. When the waves start crashing against the ship and the waters are a little rough. Nah, they ain't dipping. They stay in there with you. And that's kind of been my whole thing with the dragon ship. That's what it was since the beginning, and that's how it's going to continue to be.
And you did such a good job with Wilder and playing with fire and all that stuff.
I bodied them both. I know
both. You did. It was really useful. And then it wasn't too short after that. You and I grabbed ourselves a couple of Harleys, ran off to Vegas to do a Rule Zero, a special edition Rule Zero.
Yep. And that's where we met up with Mike Steele. We met up with MLD again.
And Offie.
Hold on. We also met up with, who was it? Who else?
Black Ice.
Oh, we met up with, AJ was out there. Little Leprechaun. But we didn't meet
I missed out meeting on you guys. I didn't meet up with you until we're in Dallas.
Yeah, Leprechaun boy messed us, but he was out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one cool thing about the dragon ship and the members there. We seem to reach out over a span of time and space and really connect as a brotherhood. Guys come and go. We understand that lives get busy, but it's pretty nice to pick up that phone or be able to join on Saturday, say hi to those guys that are pulling in the same direction. We all get to experience a very similar thing in our earth suits here on this plane of existence. Some might call, Midgard or Jotunheim, and one of the 9 realms. And it's nice to have a brotherhood to get through it with, because if we stand alone, it is definitely more difficult to learn the hard lessons. And one of the things about Red Pill knowledge is it gives you a foundation of what actually is out there, so you're not surprised. And when you're not surprised, the problems don't seem so hard to prepare for.
Yeah, so the video I end up putting together, it's not Glenn's highlight reel, okay, because that would be way too long, and none of the guys would get a chance to talk. So what I did, trying not to be selfish and all, I collaborated all of their highlighted moments that they sent me, as well as a few extras, and kind of give you a recap of what we've done for the last 2 years. So, Thor, do you want me to pull it up? I can pull it up.
If you have it up, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I got to grab it.
I got it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, you have control.
Of course I do.
No, I mean, you've done us a great job. I mean,
that's dangerous.
Don't push the in stream button.
No, wait, this back button, what does it do again?
Don't.
No, don't.
If people don't know, Glenn's accidentally killed the stream a few times.
Here we go.
It's not hard to do. Look at that old school crew.
Hold on, is there no music
I didn't
playing?
know Sammy's
No,
in
it's
the
playing.
group.
It's quiet.
I can hear it. I can hear it.
Close. Like you can give like a sloppy blowjob and put on like some jeans and a tank top and be like, I've never sucked a dick in my life. What are you talking about? Nope, not
They
me.
all
And it's
do
like,
it.
Yes, you have. If you want a tank top, male or female, you suck some dicks. Like that's just tank tops, I think.
No, one thing I will say about HUDs, I've seen him work in real life. Can I tell the story of the burger joint?
Oh, dude, please do.
Okay, so
I still think
literally,
HUD
I
paid this guy to
for the
say
first
it.
time in my life. We're talking about, and
Oh
he
man,
goes,
don't pick on
I
Sam.
know,
Sam's
man.
awesome.
Sam's good. Sam's
She's
good.
meanwhile, she's sitting around
He's
like.
been
I
on
didn't
the
say anything
show
wrong
before.
with Sam. I think HUD's paid Sam.
And he's like, I can go talk to her. She's mine in like 2 seconds. He walks over to her, and I'm talking with the other guys at the table, like whatever's going on. I look over, he's making out with her, and then within 30 seconds.
What?
I'm not even kidding. This happened.
I believe it though.
Yeah, this happened in North Beach in Miami. I
That
could
was
not
such a good
believe
trip.
it. So just like talking about receipts, to see it in real life.
On having any fleshlights, you can have some pretty fucking wild orgasms with them. Here's the thing. Having
Wait, what?
used some of these things before, if you're not getting laid and you use one of these things, you're gonna give up on a woman. A lot of these things actually do feel as good as they say, and that's what's so dangerous about it.
You found
Whoever said beauty is in the eye of the beholder didn't have to hold her, okay? Had 4 necks,
Oh, that was a good episode.
and I was lied to by HUD. He said, go harpooning, go get those whales. I've been traumatized ever since.
Hey,
I have to say, when I was talking about like the 230-pound woman out there, you went ahead and you upped your max and
I said
went ahead and did.
460.
Yeah.
I said
oh, dude, when you sent me the dumbbell video, I was like, "What the
Not a
hell?"
lady if she's not 380. You know what I mean?
Holy
shit.
Fuck it, hey, that's big.
No, let's just be real here, okay? I'm gonna keep it 100. Fat women stink. Look
at his face.
You know, I
The
don't really
conviction.
follow.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. This is what got us in trouble.
I know of Torsha. Torsha's an interesting gal, and I think the reason why Rollo likes her so much is because she is motivated to go down these rabbit holes in the space. You know, she goes up and takes it upon herself to look up all this old content, to do her own research, you know. So that's one of the things that I think, you know, he likes about her. As far as like where she's going to go, I think she's going to continue on her trajectory, you know. She has the same sort of appeal that a lot of women in the space have, you know, with the with the boobs and the simps.
Are you referring to the chesticles?
Yeah, and that's not to say anything bad. And I think if she heard that, she would agree with me on that. So Yeah,
She did hear this, and she was very upset.
I don't pay attention to anything.
He didn't agree.
I really don't.
For saying that her breasticles are large?
This is a good one. Listen up.
Guys, listen up. I don't know. She's cool. Like we're like text buddies, and you know.
Yeah.
I've seen her in Chicago. Like when I passed through Chicago a lot, we met up. She's cool. She's a cool person. At least she's been cool to me. I can comment on Torsha. Like her thing, is she needs to figure out what her brand identity is, because I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I know her. Like, are you giving advice to women? Are you giving advice to men? Are you entertainment? Are you showing your boobs? She's doing a little bit of all of it, right? So it's like, I think she should just go straight OnlyFans and call it.
Look at
that,
Randall.
more correct if she doesn't get like a very clear idea what that brand identity
What
is going to be and what she wants to offer value-wise. Whether
This is a classic
entertainment,
episode.
Oh man, 100 more episodes.
or
100
some
more
sort of
episodes.
service, you know, expertise of some sort. She's got to
Oh, it gets better. Watch
She's pretty
this.
well researched. She really, really is. And I got to say, probably one of the most knowledgeable. The thing is she has two assets that she could really leverage strongly in order to propel her in the right direction.
Are we talking about the two that I'm thinking of when you said that,
I
or
think
what?
he's referring to twins.
I think she's already using those assets. Definitely, she's already there.
Talking about her intellect and her personality. What were you guys thinking?
You were in bed. Yeah, I bet you were in bed. She was in
These are
mine.
intellect
Look at
and personality.
Laurent. He's just staring at him.
Chore play. It's doing chores in order to entice your partner.
Oh, the chore play episode was a classic.
Fun time.
Guys, you got to go back and watch that. That's a good one, Glenn.
Short play.
Let me just explain to you guys this about chore play. If you find yourself in a situation where your wife is not giving you the ass, if forever you think that picking up a mop or vacuuming the fucking living room is going to get her pussy wet, the answer is no, dummy. I don't care what these broads tell you. See, sex is supposed to be something that you desire to do. God, you want to just bang the fuck out of your wife, and your wife just wants to bang the fuck out of you. When you do chore play, you are taking something that's supposed to be a desire and you turn it into a transaction. Okay? Now, let me ask you this. Like, if you had to pay for sex, would you pay your wife for it? Or would you go get the supermodel? I'm just saying, if you're gonna go get a prostitute, you might as well make sure she's fine as hell. So when she sees you doing the dishes, she's gonna be like, oh God, he's doing the dishes. This motherfucker wants me to suck his dick later. I know it.
We're going to be talking about Valentine's Day. Yep, that's right. Roses are red, violets are fucked.
Is beautiful, sexy, and one of a kind. So
What
this
the hell?
Valentine's Day, get her a gift that's as special and
Oh,
unique
God.
as she is.
Look at that beauty.
Little thing from CVS.
Dumb little thing from CVS.
And oh, mother, it's Valentine's Day.
It's a trap.
Valentine's Day.
We had some great episodes, guys.
Valentine's Day is a trap.
Glenn, great montage, man. We had some great stuff up there. And man, you preach the red
Trust me,
pill,
there's
Glenn.
a lot more I could have done and shown, but I remember all the warnings we
strikes?
got. No, all the warnings we got on YouTube from YouTube. So I didn't want to get this channel canceled like I got my last channel canceled. So I
Yeah.
just figured I'll leave it alone.
They're still out there. The clips you pulled from really wouldn't harm us. And the promos that survived the YouTube purge were really funny. So in the comedic value, they're really good. Glenn, it's good to have you on board. It's nice to hear you preach red pill stuff again. That's the best. And
I
then,
didn't
of
get
course,
to
what
show
was
you guys
your-
my favorite one, but Huds told me not to.
Okay.
It was the his promo that I made for him for his dating service in Philly.
Don't pick on him for his dating service. That's
Oh,
okay.
we could mid-roll that. Let's mid-roll it.
We could mid-roll it. If you guys want to mid-roll it, we could. But I want to ask Glenn, what was his favorite parts? If he can remember off the top of his head, what was your favorite parts? I mean, we used to do collaborations before every episode, and I thought that really upped our game. We don't do that anymore because we've gotten better, obviously. But man, some of the creativity that came out of just collaborating offline before we went online, and then some of those episodes, I mean, I can remember back that Cupid's Day one was really cool because we got to talk about the commerciality of why guys fall into that trap, the promise of Poon, why Poon is everything to guys, why the transaction, all core RP content. I enjoyed that. Was one of my favorites. I mean, there's a bunch. Almost all of them are really cool that way. But do you have anything that stands out in your mind?
The thing that really stood up in my mind is like when we decided we were going to do the Trident, because our episode on I forgot what it was. It was on hose or something like that. We talking about hose,
right?
And how all men love hose.
Yep.
On the Dragon ship, and then like that one was a little spicy. We really couldn't get into it.
Right.
I was like, we got to do another show.
Yes.
And we started to try it, and we did like what 6-7 episodes.
Yeah, that's when we all got our cuts and we started the Trident with Phil.
Yep.
We thought we could. We looked at the terms of service and said, we could do adult content as long as we're not doing nudity and we're not talking total political stuff. We'll just talk the sex stuff and the interrelationship stuff. And I don't think we had any of them because I marked them all, and you did too.
Yeah. Because we were
age-related adult stuff. And
Yeah.
so we did that, and we did it for our members only. It was called the Trident because there was 3 of us, but obviously we could have more. But those were pretty engaging because we would pre-record those, and they're spicy that we probably wouldn't want to bring to the Dragon Ship. Not because we couldn't, but because we have a wider reaching audience. And remember, all these guys stream to their own platforms too. So we have a different direction in mind for that. But yeah, the Trident was an offshoot. That was pretty good. Episodes are still out there.
Yep. So that was that's one thing that stood out to me that it's still, think about. Episode wise, I thought the one we did with MLD was really good. And then that was a rare one because we only had MLD on once.
Right.
But I remember the first ones that we did, we decided to break down all 9 iron rules.
Those were great.
And we broke down frame in 3 different episodes. We did frame 3 different times for 3 different ways to see frame. And I thought that was probably one of our best series that we did. And that's probably one of the first series that we did too.
Yep. And the analytics on that prove it. Over time, it's grown by views, getting to the core elements and rebroadcasting it with a new audience is amazing. And it gets traction. I mean, Nuke's going over some of this stuff. He's getting traction on X. This is core value stuff that guys don't know. And so that audience that always comes in that doesn't know what we're talking about, especially now that the RP has been under attack so much by neocons, I think the time is ripe to get this information out. Paul does his podcast. He's probably got a huge reach. You do podcasting, Paul, so that seems to be really good. Your information, because obviously you have a red pill background now. You folded it into your book, and now it's into your podcast. And when you do the interviews with folks, you have a real good technique on bringing those questions to bear on your guests without being offensive, which, maybe
I try.
Like Glenn's done. I'd like to shift to Paul and see what his favorite.
No, I'm not done yet. Why are you going to bring this jabroni on? I beat his ass already. He doesn't get to talk. Talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's talk about that.
No, let's talk about.
Yeah, but who's got the belt, Glenn? Who's got the belt?
Got the belt?
Look, I don't need the belt. I
Money
know
talks and bullshit.
I don't need a belt. If I already know I beat you, next time I see you, I just look at you like, that's cute. Run along.
Okay, let's preface because we're going to get to Paul next, but there is a huge controversy around Paul and Glenn Laurence. So as we're exploring in our dragon ship and we're getting ready to do all these things, we obviously do our own thing, but there was a huge beef going on right now. There was somebody that had been named president of the manosphere. And then there was, who is the king of the red pill? The king, the president. All of these things were resulting in beef. Who can claim the red pill or manosphere ownership? And there was all these interesting conflicts amongst content creators. So
there was a bunch of shit talking in the space, and me and Paul did an episode about why the beef, why is the Mano Swamp, and we were just going through and talking about all the beef and the infighting going on at the time. And I was like, man, no, all these people say they're gonna fight each other, they're gonna see each other when they see each other, and they don't do anything. They're a bunch of little bitches talking behind a keyboard. So me and Paul decided, you know what, let's make fun of them and let's do our own fight, and let's really meet up and let's just get down and do a wrestling match.
But let's do it pro wrestling style.
Yeah, pro wrestling style. And Paul was like, that's such a great idea.
I was like, say less, bro. I've been looking for an excuse to make a custom belt forever. So
the belt's beautiful. And then you guys start making commercials.
Oh yeah,
hilarious.
We got to the point where my cousin thought Paul really was talking shit about me, and my eldest cousin, he's 50 something. He's like, I'm gonna fuck up that bald headed little son of a bitch. Where's he at? I'm like, no, don't do it. He's a friend.
that's how you know. That's how you know that it was a good promo, because when people are like, wait a second, is this real? Wait a second, are they really? Does Paul really have a problem with Glenn Laurence? I'm like, there it is right there, man.
But it was fun. And then we premiered it this past January for New Year's Eve. We did our own New Year's Eve special when it was supposed to be Summer Smash, but don't even ask me about that. COVID's a bitch. So we end up
turned that into storyline. That was good.
Excuses, you pansy.
We ended up releasing it this past New Year's Eve. We did a New Year's Eve special. We did a live watch with everybody, and
so you guys had the wrestling match. You had the world wrestling match for the title
of the Manosphere champion. Yep,
Manosphere champion.
And then we did a press release video too when he was in Vegas. We hyped it all the way up. It was fun. It was fun.
That was
good. Yeah, Miguel's brother officiated that. Yeah, Kyle did that for us because we wanted. We
had someone else there, but it's supposed to be.
Yeah, we wanted someone else to do that, but they were busy.
Yeah, so shout out Kyle too. That's Miguel's brother, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, perfect. I mean, it's amazing what you get into when you make friends with this. But you guys did such an amazing job, and we were promoting it on the Dragon Ship. People really were into it, and we're really kind of just making some commentary on some of the silliness of the beefs and how they can be so much more fun when you take this approach. And then I think you guys had a blast doing it, right?
Oh, it was fun.
it's so
Like,
much fun.
man, like talk about pulling like magic out of shit. You know, we had everything go against us. My camera crew from LA that was going to come out there, do it pro bono. They ended up picking up a bigger gig that's going to pay really well. And I told them, take the job. I had to enlist Mike Steele, who has very little camera work experience, and make him a cameraman, as well as other people in the crowd. I made them use their like cell phones and shit. And, you know, Paul, you know, he's a great podcaster, horrible actor, but, you know, great podcaster. And we had to work on our acting skills, and we had to do it all like right then and there. We had a few hours of like, I think an hour of just like rehearsal. And then we had to start filming because we had a limited time in this ring.
We also had an actual pro wrestling company that was going to let us use their ring, and they pulled out last minute because they thought our content was too offensive, and they didn't want to be.
Yeah, just based
associated
on
with our
RP,
stuff.
right? Just based on Red Pill or Manosphere content.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
So then we had to find another ring last minute. That was at a MMA gym. So we did a wrestling match on an MMA ring, which is or a kickboxing ring, which is
ring.
It's not the same. It's not the same as a pro wrestling. Pro wrestling ring has some give to it, so when you're slamming on the mat, it's not so bad. This was fucking like slamming me on a table, like an actual table that doesn't break. You know, like it.
Yeah. And after we kicked each other's ass, and I beat them officially, we took our old asses and got some Bengay and some beers, and we went to go watch King's Tournament at
Excalibur. Yeah.
Excalibur, and we were Team France. So we put our beef aside, and we were Viva la France.
Yeah.
And we handled it like men. We ate food with our hands.
Yeah.
Paul, your leotard was on point. It was gay as fuck.
It's not.
Oh,
It's
his
called a
Rule Zero
singlet.
leotard?
Okay, it's called a singlet. It's manly.
Yeah, singlet. Well, hopefully you guys had enough Midol afterwards, you know, for the cramps and stuff, and you didn't get injured from all of that. But it was really entertaining. So let's Paul, your memories and enjoyment on the Dragon Ship, how you got involved and all that sort of thing. I mean, you were a Rule Zero panel member. You and I had talked for a while. I think was it Facebook or Instagram or something. I enjoyed your content, so I'd reached out a few times. And yeah, tell me about your highlights with the Dragon Ship and what you think for the future.
Yeah, you and I got connected because I think you reached out to me or something, and I didn't know who you were really, but I was just like, oh yeah, you know, interacting with a cool guy. I like to do that. People DM me all the time, and then like, man, a couple of months later, I see Thor on fucking Fresh and Fit. I'm like, wait a second. Like people know this guy. That's crazy. But yeah, I got on the Dragon Ship. It was after I was already on Rule Zero. I had Rolo brought me onto Rule Zero, and then a couple weeks later they brought you onto Rule Zero, and then you would drop the link to everybody in Rule Zero, and you're like, hey, if you guys want to jump on the Dragon Ship, and I was like, yeah, why not? So I went on. I think I joined like one episode.
Yeah,
and then at first I was like, man, this is a lot of streaming. You know, this is a lot of streaming. Like it's like 6 hours of streaming on a Saturday. It's a lot of work. I don't know how long I'm going to keep doing this, but I keep coming back every fucking week, and it's been
well,
like
have you
that
had
for 2
fun?
years. I haven't quit yet.
Is it a positive? I mean, we really try to put a positive on this, and is it fun?
I have so much fun doing this stuff, man. Like I love doing it.
Good. And that's what we want to convey to our audience too. What's your highlights in the last couple of years, or the time you've been doing it? You have any highlights that come to mind? Or...
Well, yeah, I mean the one that Glenn showed with the Torsha episode. I mean, that was the first time that I had ever said anything online that caused someone to have a reaction video, and then I mean, Torsha fucking destroyed me in her stream about it, and I was cracking up, and you know,
I got that video because you know she took it down. Like, after I downloaded it, and I have it, and I was gonna cut it into the reel, but it would have been too long. But
we don't need to pick any
roasted you.
We did, she
roasted you and Paul And the first thing she said, she's like, "We love Glenn."
Right.
Glenn's the one that made the
Like,
video.
Don't forget,
Glenn
she
was
also
saying-
said she
Glenn
loved
was saying
Thor.
the same stuff, and then she was like, "Oh, we like Glenn though. But this guy, Paul, fuck that guy." And man, I
We
remember
set you up.
because Rolo dropped it in the Rule Zero chat, and he goes, "What did you guys do?"
I know.
What did you guys do? And I was like, "Oh, this is funny." And so I thought it was funny. And then Ryan Stone, just to like throw gasoline on the fire,
yeah.
he went into her live stream and was sending her super chats. And stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Of course,
and
Glenn
then-
and I had immunity, so we really set you up, actually.
Yeah, that was great. And then I would say just a couple of weeks ago on one of the episodes I hosted, we had the most views of all time.
We did.
On their Dragon Ship. So that was really cool. I can't remember what our episode was about, but it was actually a banger of an episode.
It wasn't because of you. It was because of Nuke.
They come here for the World Manosphere Champion.
No, they
that's
came
why.
for the black guy, okay? They came for the token black guy.
Now, gentlemen. Remember, we're all pulling on the same ore set, and we're all holding the same shields. So, no, that was a really good episode. Remember the one we did on tools, which was supposed to be, that was the second one. When we were talking about tools, we brought up tools that every man should have. We're talking about psychological tools and all that stuff. And about 3/4 of the way through the episode, we shifted into actual tools. Hey, I got this tool. I use it for this. You can look at the analytics. We doubled our viewership as soon as we started talking about real physical tools. It cracks me up to think about who our audience is and what they're interested in.
Because men are like, oh, you like Snap-on? I like I'm a craftsman. I'm a craftsman guy. You
That's exactly what happened. It's like, maybe we should talk about knife brands and axe brands. It's pretty funny stuff. But
what's your take on United Cutlery? I mean,
Yeah, that was a good episode, and I like the fact that somebody as competent as you can come in, schedule, and host. All the other guys are gaining that knowledge now. What's your take on the future for the Dragon Ship?
Oh man, it's been so interesting because there's a small group of core guys that have been here for a long time. They might have like gone away for a while and then come back, like Huds, for instance. He was in the first episode.
Yes.
And he was gone for a while, and then he's been back, and he's been consistent with it. I think we're going to see a lot of people come and go.
Side quests.
But that's a good thing. So we're going to see a lot of new faces. Tarl, brand new, came in just a couple of weeks ago and fucking killing it already.
Yeah.
So I hope to just keep seeing that. I really like that. I like how you made the analogy, a couple of months ago. Maybe it was last year even, where you were talking about how we're kind of like the minor leagues, right? We're kind of like the minor leagues to get you ready for something like, like Rule Zero. And I'm a pro wrestling guy, so I look at it like, yeah, we're NXT, we're developmental.
Yeah, we're the minor leagues of the manosphere here. We're the manosphereians string two.
I even said that in my first interaction with Rolo on a live stream, which was with Vince on Masculine Geek. I'm like, yeah, we're the JV of Rule Zero.
Junior varsity.
I think we are the real team, okay? We're the varsity team. We may have been the JV at one time, but you know what? We're the new fresh blood, and we have kind of surpassed.
No.
We're
the special ops.
If you watch NXT, right, which is the developmental for WWE, man, a couple of years ago, that was the brand to watch. Back when Triple H ran it, and Vince McMahon was still running like Raw and SmackDown, like Triple H turned that brand into the brand. And so, that's definitely a possibility with this show to be,
sure,
the biggest show in the manosphere.
Sure. And I'm okay with it either way, because it's more important that the quality continues to increase. And most importantly, the guys that come in here enjoy hosting and putting together the shows and things like that. Thanks, Paul. Anything else to add, or we move on here?
Yeah, we can move on.
Great. Let's get to some super chats, shall we, Mr. Steele?
Absolutely. Bobby Trauma with the $2 super chat. Salute, fellas. Greatest of all time episode.
Fantastic, man.
Culture Club USA with the $10 super chat.
Holy shit, that gets an Odin. See if you can recognize the voice who's calling out Odin.
Is that you, Thor, calling out Odin?
Yeah, I was taking lessons from you on voice control.
Well, I think I know who should read this one. Glenn, thank you so much for shouting me out. Really appreciate it. All your support, the best support. Won't forget it anytime soon. Never will. Shout out Siege D for connecting us. De brava.
Steel, you're so unique. We gotta get more promos of you. Look at this one.
Abdel Fattah Ibrahim, 50 Arab Emirate dollars, I think?
Yeah.
Congratulations on the 100th episode.
Thank you, sir. You're getting the full duration Warhorns from here at Jotunheim and Valhall Studios. Here we go. Oh, missed it. There we go. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Our brother out there in the United Arab Emirates. He's definitely one of our Dragons members, and he was just in our meeting on Tuesday, which was an interesting meeting. I know, HUDs, we had a great time. We have more to talk about as soon as I can schedule that time moving forward, and there should be more meetings coming out of that.
Absolutely. That meeting, that presentation you gave, unbelievable. One of the best presentations, and I mean that honestly, one of the best presentations that I've heard in a while, and it got me thinking so much about identity and how to communicate that better to men.
We'll get more of that out too. This is not the right format for that. We can talk about all of the benefits of that, which I mean everybody knows that's the key here to moving forward and making yourself better in pretty much all of the self-help space. But yeah, appreciate that. Where were we at? We don't have any more super chats, do we, Mike?
Two more, sir.
Let's get them.
Siege D with the $2 super chat. Christopher Walken has an opinion about the Dragon Ship. Nah, Rule Zero is Dragon Ship pre-show. You gotta understand. You gotta go around and you watch the Rule Zero. You watch it fast.
Excellent. CG, here you go, man. Appreciate that. I can't tell you guys how much we appreciate the chat. We're doing our best to keep on top of that. We're going to continue to do that because the interaction is what makes the difference.
And right here, dung is fun. Well, just wash your hands afterwards. For $2, we appreciate that. Whoever catches Cappy, you get a wee pot of gold there, do you there?
Oh, shit. Nobody's catching Cappy. The man's a parkour extremist when it comes to that.
Christ.
Yeah. He can fit between boulders. He's kind of smaller, so he can fit.
Every time he's like, "Hey, you want to go hiking?" And I should say no, and I'm just like, "Yeah, that sounds great." And then I immediately fucking regret it. Yeah.
So I outsmarted all you guys on that when Cappy was out here. I had 2 Harleys sitting in the garage, and I tempted him. I didn't have to walk. We just rode the Harleys.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Cappy bought me a cigar and all my whiskey, so I kind of did it the right way. That's how you interact.
Yes, you did. And you know what? Cappy's an inspiration because he knows the value of meeting face to face and creating that brotherhood, which pretty much everybody here has done. And he's known this before everybody else did, and it made him such a stalwart in this arena. And of course, his books are brilliantly researched. And you know, he is an actuary or has performed as an actuary in the industry, so that's always good. So as cranky as he's valuable. And we've had him on here, so cool. All right, let's get back to it. Who was I resting with? It was between Glenn and Paul. Paul, if you have, if we can, we'll move on from you. And
yeah, go ahead.
Let's get back to, tell you what, I would like to talk to HUDs because HUDs was the very first guest, him and Cameron, when I officially opened the Dragon Ship. Even before it changed over to the Elders Council, when we had all the old guys come in, you moved off on a different project. But the idea you and I had discussed quite a bit of time because you were in with MLD. We were doing all the lectures and all that stuff, and you and I had gone back and forth. And really, you know, I had tossed this idea on the Dragons membership and then expanding it into YouTube content. And you guys were the first guys. You guys were in business doing things. And what was your experience like, and what is it like today?
Yeah, no, it's been a wild ride. It really is crazy to think that we are like over 2 years of doing this. Yeah, time flies. My experience through doing it has been really powerful. As you said, we met through MLD when I joined some of his different courses and seeing the different lectures and meeting the different guys. And it was the first time I ever became a part of an online community. And by doing that and then transitioning it into like local meetups and things like that, like I really saw the value in it. And so when we were talking about doing a show like this, pulling together a collective like this, and being able to give that knowledge, I mean, it was so invigorating for me, because I grew up, well, not grew up, but years ago, watching the Red Man group and then Rule Zero. Like that's what I would do every single Saturday, and it was really important for my self-development at that time. And so if we were able to do the same thing, boom, got to be on it. So it's been an interesting ride, and I've just learned so much from being around these great men, and I've learned a lot from you, Thor. I mean, I left for a little while, and you really challenged me a lot to like look at myself and to grow up more, and that was really, really cool, and I needed that. And so now, like, I just, the confidence level to do a lot of different things. I've started my own. I've actually started multiple men's groups. I've got my original one, First Class, and then more recently we just started Men of Now, which has been absolutely fantastic, and we've been doing some cross collaboration like we did this week. So yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I'm so happy. I have to say my favorite moment throughout everything is actually the same thing that Paul said. It was during that episode, seeing it go over 300 concurrent viewers, the most that we ever had. Because I think back to when we were first starting with Phil Foster and Mark Inspiration, and just to see where it's come was it really meant a lot.
Yeah, that was different. We were definitely in unknown waters, lost in the Sargasso Sea of things, and just trying a lot of different stuff. So we all really didn't know. We were all kind of guessing, but I had a great time, and those guys are always welcome back. Yeah, made some good connections there. So what do you see? I mean, do you like the trajectory we're going now? I mean, you're part of the creative elements. I mean, these intros, what you're doing with Steele and Glenn has been useful. And I laugh my ass off when I see you guys make a promo. Or an intro video. You guys are getting so good at the AI thing and teaching everybody else. None of this stuff is secret, and it really elevates all of us. I think. What is our motto? What is our maxim? A rising tide lifts. And so we pretty much share everything with the group, and I like that, because there is a lot of holding stuff close to your vest in this environment, as if the competition is going to steal, or your friends or your enemies. There's a lot of that comes from the laws of power and in this space. And I just have a broader perspective. I hope you guys do. And I think you do too, Huds. Is there the slice of pie that's sitting here that we're looking at is so large, it's unfathomable. Imagine the new faces that came in and listened to us. They have no idea. And it's not like we have to slice this pie up like, Huds, you and I are in competition because we have these groups. And it doesn't work that way. When you hit the ground, you could make some insane competition elements out of this stuff, to where guys are at each other's throats. Does it draw views in the algorithm? Yes, it's all geared that way. But what I've come to realize, and I think you have too, is there is a large slice of pie out there if you want to just talk and enjoy the fact that, you're speaking your passion on things like the Dragon Ship.
Absolutely. And to answer your question, where I see it going, I think we have a lot of core pillars, people that are going to be here for the long haul. There may be some people that come and go, as Paul was mentioning. We've seen it happen, but we've got really, really strong foundation. And I think that when you look at all like red pill shows out there, this is going to be a staple that everyone's going to be referencing and everyone's going to tune into.
Happy to 100%. Do that, man. Yeah, thanks, Huds. I appreciate you being the first. And like I said, people they have real lives above and beyond this stuff, and that's well respected. So if they can't come, they can't come. But we have quite a roster, so it looks like we're able. Do you guys know that we never missed an episode since we started this? It's gone on time every Saturday, with the exception of one pre-record when I was driving from Vegas back here, and I think I did a pre-record. I want to say Nuke might have been on with me. I can't remember.
I think it was me and Paul.
Or was it you and Paul? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was
One or
both
the
of
other.
us two.
Yeah, we did a pre-record. Oh, yes, right. And that's the only one, but nobody would have known because we scheduled it just right. I remember getting like a super chat in there and I couldn't respond. So, because I set it up as a scheduled and didn't announce that it wasn't live. But out of that entire 2 years, that was it. We were always on time. Somebody stepped up and hosted. So I appreciate that, guys. Thank you, Huds. Let's move along. Mike, or actually, I believe that Nuke came on, and then Mike. Let's talk about Nuke's experience coming on to the Dragon Ship. What brought you here? I know you were talking with Glenn. I got to chat with you. We had some fun. Give us your take.
Well, I read. I've been on these forums for over 10 years, like reading all this. Like I was on Rouge V forum. I was on.
Oh, I can tell. I could totally tell.
Yeah, I was on bodybuilding.com forums talking about ladies, you know, like, and I was a young kid. I just wanted, you know, I didn't have like a lot of guidance or anyone to look up to in terms of like this content. So I just traded notes with guys and all that from years ago. And then I got on Return of Kings, and I think I started reeling Rolo stuff, Quintus Curtius, any guys that are still in the space. That's where I started. And then I started using Twitter around 2013, but I was in college, so I didn't really pay attention. In 2016, I started really using it. And I've been lurking. Like, I did tweet, but I would lurk for years about I would lurk at people's stuff. And then I remember kind of I wrote that thread last year, February of last year, 100 lessons that I learned from dating. And it made a lot of waves, right? And I even got contacted by New York Times because they wanted me to interview me and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, I got hit up by first it was Rob and Jack Napier. I did an interview with them, and then next it was Paul. He interviewed me, and I'm like, at first I'm like, I was kind of scared to come out publicly and talk about this stuff, you know, because I read Rational Male in 2013. And I've been reading all the Red Pill stuff for years, but you know, I saw the drama that could come into your life from this stuff, so I was very wary. But then I met these guys and chatted with them, like chatted with Paul, and it was like, man, these guys are like normal dudes. They're just like me, you know, like, you know, these are normal, cool guys, whatever. So when I talked to Paul, and then I think I caught Glenn Laurence kind of started. I think he DM'd me or something, and I think I did a show with him or something, or we just chatted on Twitter. And then he said, hey, we got to get this guy on the Dragons right now. And I'm like, what's the Dragons? Like, is that like a men's group or something? And then it turns out, like, I didn't know it was like a whole ass show to like hours before I went on, hours before it was scheduled. So I'm like, oh shit. So I went on. I don't remember what I talked about on my first episode. I just know that Thor was like hyping me up a lot. And I was pretty humbled by that. Yeah. Because I'm like,
Thor's a really good hype man.
Yeah.
Well, I do my research too, so it's not entirely unfounded.
Yeah. And also, I'm like, this is a very Caucasian panel. I'm a brown guy, so like,
I brought the right person.
Yeah,
cover all of our racial issues.
And then, you know, Glenn is always hitting me up. Yeah, to this day, to this day, Glenn's still hitting me up to do shows and stuff like that. And you know, I'm usually busy, but you know, it's
he's too busy. Before he wasn't busy, but now he's too busy.
You know what, Glenn? I have several shows on my YouTube where me and you are just chatting. You hit me up like 15 minutes before. So
I know. Hey, do you remember the one where we had that girl send us that video that tagged us in it?
Oh my God, yes. You guys, you should have uploaded that to the thing, you know. Too.
I couldn't watch it again, bro. I could not do that to myself twice.
Wait,
so
is it still up on your channel or is it on mine?
Yeah, it's up on my channel. It's up on my channel.
Holy
we had this
shit,
chick
dude.
tag us on Twitter, right? Because we were talking about like trad wives and you know
some shit. And this broad is in lingerie. She is a prostitute with like 5 kids, and she's trying to read us the Bible, and we're just fucking dying the whole time. Yeah, we're just talking about. I'm like, what is going on Twitter? Yeah, it was good times. But yeah, it's been fun, and I never thought I would have anything to add to this space, because I've been watching Thor since he was on Fresh and Fit, and I watch Rule Zero all the time, so I knew a lot of you guys and your content and all that stuff. I didn't know AJ, but me and AJ probably know we know people in real life in common, so that's how and I didn't know HUDs, but or Mike Steele, I kind of knew you. I don't know where I've seen you before the Dragons. I wasn't sure. Donovan, I've been following his stuff for years. And then Laurent I just met too, and I'm like, Laurent's probably like a 200 IQ guy. Like, how am I gonna go on a show and talk to I'm gonna be like, women bad, and he's gonna be like, well, this is how you build an infrastructure of an economy in a country. And I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here?
You're men that share equal values, man. I mean, the exchange is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things I tell guys, especially the online community, right? Online, there's a lot of stuff, right? It's like the Pinocchio's Island. There's gonna be naked chicks. There's gonna be people trying to sell you stuff. There's gonna be video games, all stuff
Pleasure
that we
Island,
all like.
yeah,
Pleasure Island, right? But there's also gonna be dudes that have the answers that you seek. And I'll tell you right now, guys, I don't know where I would be without the internet or this content. I could have been somewhere else suffering, or maybe I wouldn't even be here, God forbid, right? But I always say, guys, like, take this stuff seriously. It is Saturday morning cartoons for some of you guys, but for a 23-year-old nuke trying to make sense of his life in the military, this stuff really kept him going, right? And we may not see it, but there are guys in the trenches in really bad situations that watching this stuff make it, more than it gives them a plan, it gives them hope, because they see us, the stories we share, the things we get through, and how chill and how relaxed we are about life. And there are a lot of guys out there that want to be married when they have kids, and they've given up. They're like, I'm never gonna have kids because I'm just not good enough, right? And then I tell them, yeah, I thought that for like when I was 23. It's not a big deal. Like, you go through it. It's normal. It's life. Just make sure that you take care of yourself and just wait it out, because most of the times all you need to do, wait it out. So yeah, it's an honor to be here. It's always fun to be on the Dragon Ship, and sometimes I look at you guys and I'm like, do I bring down the IQ here? Because I'm not sure. Everyone's so intelligent and stuff.
No, your content's good. We really look forward when you host too. You're actually very well prepared, and we appreciate that.
Yeah,
and our diversity hire, everyone.
Yeah. And the thing is now, like, now I'm staring at the clout button every day. Like, there is a I have an opportunity to really kind of play the game a little bit, and maybe press the clout button. But obviously it's scary, and realize that no matter what happens, the Dragon Ship gave me my start. Like.
We would support you all the way if you want to go, and that's great. I mean, it never even touched my mind about clout and recognition, and I enjoyed the people and producing something to cast forward into the future. I think everybody here wants to do that. So when I went this last summer to 2 different cities and got recognized, one for my book and one for being on the Dragon Ship, it stunned me. In fact, kind of scared me a little bit to be in a very public place with a lot of people and somebody calling out your name.
You're on the list, Thor.
Nice. Am I on the DHS list? I have no idea, because I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but it was a little bit, wow, I didn't realize that would happen, I don't know.
Actually, Thor, there was like a whole news report last June that has you on the watch list.
Yeah, Thor is a dangerous man. You gotta be careful.
To myself.
He survived 25,000 volts, was it?
I got hit with 12,000, yeah. But there's everybody's got their valleys to climb through, right? Hey, speaking of which, after Nuke, we brought my AJ and Mike Steele on. So let's start with AJ and get your experience, and run right into our resident voice coach. We'll get finished with him and talk about his suit in a moment. So AJ, what's your experiences here?
So my experience is I met Thor through MLD's Masculine Empowerment Network. And then last, I want to say April timeframe when he was doing the free dragon meeting, it was Glenn's presentation. I decided to join the Dragons. It was February? All right, yeah. So it was last February. Glenn's story and my story are like really close and very similar, except I don't have kids and he does. So I'm like, man, this is interesting. Maybe I should check in. Like that's my next evolution is go from the Money Muscles Frame game to dominant masculine presence training through Thor's coaching. So it's all an evolution. That's how I viewed it. And then Glenn was in Dallas area. That was April for sure. And that's where I met him, Phil Foster, and kind of gave me the idea to start my own channel and kind of ripped off Ryan Stone when he was doing the food. I did it with automotive detailing and talking about RP concepts. Since then, I've hosted a seminar in the Dragons on automotive detailing, the basic knowledge that I can squeeze down into like 1 hour content. And I could talk about it for hours upon hours upon hours. And as far as then that allowed me to move into hosting the Dragonship episodes. And I've hosted a few that Tools episode, that was mine. We're doing one in a couple weeks. I think that's going to be joint with me and Huds hosting on settling, which I think is going to be a fun episode.
Oh, yeah.
And my favorite thing about the Dragons overall is possibly how it's afforded me the opportunity to collaborate and live stream with other individuals in the space. Like Masculine Geek, I love his content.
Just say me. Just say I'm your favorite. I'm your favorite.
You're not my favorite nude.
Vince is amazing. I've watched Vince for many years, probably almost as long. He didn't come out with his YouTube, but almost as long as Donovan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just silently listen to his stuff. It's great.
Yeah. And
love Vince.
That's the thing I loved about this space and the opportunity that you've afforded me by joining the Dragonship is to be able to get online with these other like-minded men and hash notes and be appreciated for like the little specialties and little niches and nuances that I do know.
Yeah. And I don't know if you're aware, but you know, Vince gave a lecture on the Dragons membership, which is the paywall stuff. So he came on and gave us a nice lecture. That was really good.
I stole Vince's masculine geek idea to create the beer club.
Yeah,
perfect.
Straight up stole it, and I fully admit that because I hung out with him because he has Masculine Geek. They have their their show and they do a stream or whatever, but they also have a meetup of guys and they just get together and they just talk about whatever.
Yeah, Masculine Geek Fortress, I think it's called.
Yeah, and but the difference is like, they talk about nerd shit. And they, awesome. But they have a limit. Like he says, I only want like 12 guys in this group. And I was like, this is actually just a really good idea in general, because guys need to get together with other dudes and have a place where they can just talk about guy shit without having to worry about no allowed. So I was like, I could do that. I could do that for my show and have the beer club and so yeah, I started the beer club like right after hanging out with Vince one time. He's like, "You fucking son of a bitch."
Vince is hilarious. I even stole his moniker to put it in my dating profiles. I have actually when I did have Bumble, I just got rid of it. But on Tinder, I actually have Masculine Geek in my bio.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's a good dude. Yeah.
He's smart. I definitely 2 years ago.
Every day he sends me memes on Instagram. Every day.
Every day. Every day.
Look at this. Every day I get new, and they're all good. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Or he'll if he's got your number, he'll send him to your number directly too.
Awesome.
Yeah,
perfect.
that's true. Shout out to Vince, that Masculine Geek, and his crew over there. I went on a couple years ago and talked about modern regenerative medicine, hormone replacement, stuff like that. And, getting yourself in shape as an older guy. I went and did that for his group a few years ago. And it was a good group. But yeah, it's like limited to 12. But we certainly support things like that. I definitely have learned some lessons since then. And I like the small group. I have provisions for the Dragons when we double our size. I have breakout rooms set just for that purpose so we can get more intimate. But another story, another day. So yeah. Interesting that you were able to do that. Anything else, AJ?
I'll yield my time to Mike and the rest of the group.
Mike Steele, look at how sharp you look. You got your aviators on. You got the red tux on. Coming live from Las Vegas, Mike Steele. What has been your experience with the Dragonship, and how do you see us moving forward?
I definitely see the production quality increasing, and I think Thor led the charge with your brand new studio wall right there behind you, and the torches and the weapons and everything. I think, well, yeah, Thor's got
It's
the
a big
green
ship.
screen
I
one.
mean,
Yeah,
Paul's over
got the
here
real
on
one
the
right now.
bow, so
yeah. I definitely see us leveling up. Like, we talk about in this space, we level up. We increase our, yes, thank you, Paul. We see you. We see you, Paul, and we feel you. We talk about leveling up, like increasing your income, getting those gains, upgrading the kind of women that you can attract and everything like that. But, production quality is something that you can level up too if you're into this kind of thing. And I'm starting to, really see it. We've got our own theme song now. I think we can definitely upgrade that eventually. Maybe even get some pity musicians to do it for free. Who knows? The intro is fire. The thumbnails are out of this world. And I don't know what the future holds. I just know that it will be amazing.
So you've hosted a few times now, and I think your comfort level is coming up. Any highlights from that you can mention before we move on?
I gotta say, until next week, which I am taking responsibility for next week, just so everybody knows.
Give us a
until
preview.
Next week, my first episode is still my favorite, even though Glenn thinks it's probably the gayest episode of DragonShip of all time. You're muted, Glenn.
That's because he's projecting. That's why.
It's a better thing.
He doesn't want to come out and just say it out loud. Just talk shit.
But
yeah, it's a better
thing. In my opinion, interior design is a slice of frame.
Sure.
Gay.
Glenn sometimes gets splinters on the frame, when he has his hands around the frame.
But I want to ask you for something, Thor. I would like to come back and go again when Donovan returns, because I have a very special message I want to give directly to him. But
should be back in about 15 minutes, you guys. We can hang a little late. He had an important thing, and he sent a message that he wanted to jump back in here as soon as he could.
But going to the Rising Tide raises all ships. If I may, Thor, I would like to show some examples of that. Is that all right?
Jeez, yeah.
This is not a self-promotion. This is more of a whatchamacallit, just demonstrating Rising Tide raises all ships. This is when Thor and Glenn came out to do that live Rule Zero, and I got to hang with Glenn and Thor for a little while, and I had to miss Conference of Masculine Excellence #2, where Thor did attend, so that was a bummer, but in the end I got to hang out with him one-on-one, which I think is better. And so that was a really great weekend, and I have just a few more I want to share here. And so, just hanging out with all these guys and getting to talk to all of them, you just meet so many great people and get to spend so much time with them. There's me with Troy Francis. That was a great night. That was the cigar bar. I was chilling with Hotep Jesus for 2 hours. We sat and talked about fiat currency and communism and, all the shit that, Hotep likes to get into. And this guy's a regular on Fox News and Gutfeld and shit.
Yeah, one of the few guys I haven't actually got to meet face to face yet. And that's a short list, but one of the few guys I'm still on my list. Yep.
And then, of course, me with my man Donovan. I don't know who this guy is right here, but
that guy. What's he up to?
I don't know. And then, of course, the Alfie Kingdom, and then Mo from Fresh and Fit.
Yeah.
Just a great guy. Mo lights up the room, man. Whenever he walks into a room, he just lights it up. And then one of our most recents, of course, I love this one. Paul hates it, but I love it. This is at our secret manosphere.
Oh, the He-Man haters, no Whammon Club. Yeah.
Yeah, that's our secret Manosphere restaurant headquarters here in Las Vegas. So I got to hang out with Cappy for a bit. And I just wanted to show all that real quick because I remember when Thor asked me to be on here, I was blown away. Because I respect and admire Thor so much. And at first, I was a little bit taken aback. I had imposter syndrome. So I was like, what the hell have I got to say that people like Thor would even want to hear in the first place, or followers of Thor? Like, I go to Thor because I don't know what the hell is going on. I go to Thor because he's 10 times the man I am, in my opinion. So why does Thor want me here? Why does Thor want to hear from me? And I guess at the end, I'm sure Thor can answer that question because, you know, sometimes I still wonder that. But I'm grateful and humbled to be here, and this has been a really good thing for me. It gives me a routine that I know is coming every Saturday. It also gives me some responsibility. Obviously, with work, as men, we all have responsibilities at work, and we adhere to that, else we get fired and become homeless. But with a responsibility like this, where there's no quote-unquote consequences for not getting your shit done, I take this responsibility just as serious. And every time I am asked to, or I declare that I'm going to be hosting an episode, I don't want to let my brothers down. And, or if I'm not hosting, you know, I'm invited on, I still got to plug all this shit in every day and be here on time. And it's a routine and a responsibility that has been very helpful and psychologically healthy for me. So thank you for that, Thor.
Oh, good. I'm glad that you're going to host us soon again. And just to clarify, this ship doesn't go anywhere unless our hands are on the oar. So my hand will be on the oar and your hand's on the oar. It doesn't matter which hand, as long as we're all pulling on it. So, you know, that's the reason that guys get asked to come on, because they're pulling on the oars. So
I'll say this too, Mike. You're a great example of someone who has done the work. You know, like you don't just come here and as Ryan Stone likes to say, you don't just come here and navel gaze. You've come in, you've been on your own journey, you've done the work, you have your own experiences, you have your own life experiences it's valuable to other men, because other men they might not be going through the same thing that I've gone through, and the things that I say might not resonate with them, but what you say might resonate with them, because we're all coming from different walks of life. So having guys with different perspectives coming in, it's valuable to people. So I'd say that's probably one of the reasons why Thor brought you on.
it is. Absolutely. We appreciate you, Mike Steele. I'm going to move us towards our newest member, Tarl, Viking Paradigm, who I've actually interacted with for a few years now, both with MOD and with, at least loosely, with Fresh and Fit in Myron. So, Tarl, I want to get your experience. You just came on board. You haven't had quite a chance yet to host, but I want to work with you on that. You've already contributed greatly, and you have a vast knowledge on what goes on technically behind the scenes for these types of shows. Now, we do a panel show, but obviously you have experience with podcasting, larger shows, the dating shows, and I believe you actually manage one of the Discords for Fresh and Fit right now. So you have a lot of experience, and since have known you, you bring a lot to the table, and you bring your Mjolnir you're wearing today. So let me get your flavor of your highlights on the Dragon Ship and what over the years brought you here and what you're looking forward to.
Well, I can do a quick TLDR kind of my red pill journey. You know, shout out to Rich Cooper, his video popping up in my algorithm when I was having problems. I didn't have the entrance into the manosphere like a lot of guys do. What I typed in was not how to get back my girl or anything like that. I was typing how to become a millionaire the right way. I think was the first search that I tried. And I got a Rich Cooper video and I watched it and I was like, I was still pretty blue pill. I'm like, he said a lot of true things, but still, whatever. But then I saw Donovan Sharp's stream pop up. Coincidentally, the first time he was interviewing Myron Gaines, he started talking about Rollo Tomasi, Rule Zero, and that blew the door wide open. He said the line comply or goodbye. I had a chat with my girl that night, gave her the choice. I said, basically, I'm going to win with you or I'm going to win without you. We've been doing it 50-50 all these years, for 10 years at that point. And we're either going to do it my way or no way. I'm done with this. It's just not going to work. And I thought she was going to be like, okay, we're done. She just said, okay, I think I can do that. And I was like, okay, so they were right. So I ended up linking up with MLD as Body Language Mastery. That's how I got in contact with Myron. That's how I got in contact with Thor. Lost a bunch of weight. I went from being 253 pounds to now I weigh in at 175 after a bolt. So, I'm doing really good in terms of my overall physical and mental well-being now. Lost all the depression and all that crap that was bothering me. And ever since then, I basically just started. I told my girl that the night in one of MLD's courses, Myron, if he doubles down on his YouTube channel, he's going to hit it big and he's going to need me on his team because, I come into this space. The reason why I'm technically knowledgeable about a lot of this is I used to be a Machinima and YouTube partner, right? I got hit in the adpocalypse because I was a fool, blue pill, not asking people to subscribe to my channel, right? So I had all the watch hours. I had 6,700 watch hours, but no subscribers. Right, I had like just 100 subscribers or so. So my channel tanked. I lost my contracts due to that apocalypse when they changed their standard, and that was shortly before I found this space. So just seeing all the work that you've done, Thor, I'll be honest, I haven't been able to watch every episode of the Dragon Ship, but every time I saw you go live, I always had a video up, always had it go in the background, was always hitting that like with the sweet spot in the algorithm, which is 10 to 15 minutes after you watch. With no interruptions. So that way it tells the algorithm that you're truly enjoying the content after you watched it. Little tidbits like that really help a channel grow, right? And that's where I read all the stuff that Machinima put out with their Google engineers they had working for them and all this stuff about how to maximize things in the algo, right? And it's funny, I see Masculine Geek on the screen there, use that acronym. I said to my girl a long time ago, I'm that muscle-bound nerd. Right? I'm a geek through and through. I know tech. I love tech. I've been taking machines apart. I was poor, but I always repaired machines, PlayStations, all that stuff. So I always had video games and stuff like that, VCRs, DVD players growing up. Right? So that's where my main expertise are. Found out through this journey that not only am I a Viking, I am a Norse Viking descendant from royalty. Shout out to Norway. I literally got the Dragon Ship shirt on right now. So that's where my family came from, and that's my identity, right? I am a Viking king in the modern age, right? And I have knowledge, power, and know how to wield it. I've been working behind the scenes, and if you know anything about the Norse Vikings, they didn't always participate in the battles, but every battle they participated in, if you can get them on your side, they always fucking won. Why? Because we don't give up. We have a motto: die on your feet, or no living on your knees, right? You don't serve, you fight and die, and that's how you go to Valhalla. And I truly embodied that. I was trained by my father to be a fighter growing up, and that's what I do here. I fight behind the scenes. I've been helping guys, and I'm truly honored that Thor brought me up and added me to the Dragon Ship. I am so happy that I could be here. And like Thor said, I'm an admin in the Fresh and Fit Discord. Big Mo's one of my best friends in the world, right? He made me he calls me the official Miami native. He took me around to all the spots and got me all the food, the cultural food. Had a blast doing that last couple of years, going down to Miami, working with the Fresh and Fit team. And like I said, I plan on, what's going into the future. Well, you've got the Viking King on board, the Norse Viking King. So this ship is going all the way.
Well, thanks, Tom. We really appreciate that.
Hey, can I give a shout out to everybody from the Crucible Squad and Andrew Wilson for sending us all his people over here to show us some support and check us out. Thank you, Andrew. Love and support you and your wifey, Rachel. And she did a great job yesterday with Pearl on Timcast. You guys
I caught a clip of that. That was really good.
Yeah.
And, just for Andrew, my wife has become a fan having watched one of your debates. So,
hey, Vince, if you're still watching, check your text messages.
Team. Thank you guys, everybody from the Crucible squad that came over on the raid. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for joining us.
Viking, real quick. So let me get this straight. You went to the gym and it cured your depression. Imagine that.
I didn't go to the gym. In fact, I actually just bought a basic set of dumbbells off of Amazon right before they were locking everything down and just worked out at home during the entire lockdown. And now I'm fit as fuck.
Yep.
Next month, I'm going to be working on a mini course on basic fitness, and it's all going to be on, like, you don't even have to go to the fucking gym.
Are you doing that Taibo workout you did for the?
Yeah, it's going to be Taibo, and it's going to be DDP yoga. That's what.
So he's that Taibo ho.
I used the Thigh Master in conjunction with Eric Everhard's new book. So, inside joke, gentlemen. Inside joke.
Hey.
We got to keep it
clean. It definitely is an inside joke.
Exactly.
I got a question for this panel. All right, we have seen this space like evolve over time. What is the next evolution? What do you see in the next evolution? We have seen people rise and fall. We see people come and go. What is going to be the next evolution? We've seen from regular, live streams to now panel shows like this or in-person panel shows. What is going to be the next evolution? We see Andrew Wilson taking on Wes Watson on Fresh and Fit live.
Dude, that was unbelievable.
Well, yeah, I got my own page about that.
It seems like the space runs in cycles, and this year it's an election year cycle. So you see a lot of debates. You see a lot of tradcons talking about what you should do. And what's the right thing to do, and then they're debating those red pill people, and we're the bad guys this year. Next year, I think it's going to start over again. It's going to reset. It's going to be back to basics, and then it's going to start all over again.
Absolutely. We're still in the ramp up for the part where we're all screaming at each other, eating our own. That's still going to be a thing until after the election, and then we'll go back to my favorite time is when we're somewhat underground and it's a little more genuine as we move forward. Hey guys, AJ, real quick. Looks like Masculine Geek wanted to jump in and say hi. Is our green room full? Do I need?
Yeah, but he just texted me back. He just hopped on his bike, so we'd hit him up sooner. He would have hopped on. We just missed him barely.
Never mind. Yeah, I know that definitely. Donovan said he wanted to come back. I don't know how much further we got with this, but we can certainly start with we can run some. Do we have any supers right now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, let's run a couple mids then, guys. Stick with us. Donovan should be back soon. We're celebrating our 100th episode of the Dragon Ship, which is a slightly above average panel show in this space, I would say right now, but soon to be a very good panel show that's going to be above everything else. Just in the fact that we promote positivity and we like this information before. So let's get to that real quick. And here we go. My buddy Paul is offering a special.
70% of relationships start online nowadays, but you're tired of being stuck in the dating app dead end. Swipe after swipe, and all you get is ghosted or worse, bot matches. The problem isn't you. It's that most dating apps are designed to favor the top 20% of guys. And if your profile isn't up to par, you're just another swipe left. The solution? No cold approach in the cow pasture. While the course may have a funny name, it will show you how to optimize your dating profile. It will show you how to take perfect photos and write bios that get you noticed. You'll also learn how to spot and avoid bots, catfish, and time wasters. I originally designed this course for guys who live in rural flyover country, where the opportunity to meet women organically in person just isn't possible, or your options are severely limited. But this course will work for guys in big cities too. In fact, it'll work better for guys that live in big cities because you have way more options than guys that live out in rural areas. wherever you are. No Cold Approach in the cow pasture will help you meet high-quality women in your area. It will help you to close for more dates than you ever thought possible. Because not only do I teach you how to optimize your online dating profile on dating apps, the real secret sauce is I show you how to meet women on Facebook and Instagram and how to slide into their DMs using a virtual cold approach method using video messages. Ready to be a part of the top 20%? Don't miss your chance. Visit dates.comeonmanpod.com. That's dates.comeonmanpod.com to sign up now. And for the entire month of May, take 50% off with code MAY50 at checkout. 70% of relationships start online now. Have you ever felt like you're fading into the background? Like the world doesn't want you to stand out, to be strong, to be masculine? You're not imagining it. For decades, society has been reshaping the role of men, leaving many feeling lost and disconnected. It's time to change the narrative. In A Dominant Masculine Presence by RP Thor, discover the path to reclaim your strength, your confidence, and your identity as a man. This isn't about fitting into a stereotype. It's about embracing your natural traits and honing them into a powerful presence. Learn the 7 skills that every man needs to lead with authority, read body language, and control his emotions. RP Thor breaks it down with clear examples and practical advice to help you transform your life. It's time to stop apologizing for who you are. It's time to lead with pride and courage. A Dominant Masculine Presence gives you the tools to do just that. Get A Dominant Masculine Presence by RP Thor on Amazon or listen on Audible. Don't let society dictate who you should be. Claim your strength and redefine your future.
Fantastic, fantastic. Glenn, you had one queued. You want to put up there? We got the final mid-roll. I thought you said you had one queued.
Now I have 2 options. You know, we could do HUD's video or we could do the promo.
Play them both. They need to know about my service.
And then we'll come back and round table. Yeah.
Okay. Playing them both as we shall. Are you gay and looking for love? Are you having a hard time? Are you wanting to find meaningful connections? Not just guys that want to pull their pants down, show you their Johnson, and make you suck their dick while you're trying to read a book? Do you find yourself striking out at your local gay watering hole? Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and nobody just seems to be interested in your gay ass? You should contact the Hudsman, the dating coach for the gays, Philly's best. So if you want to end up like these carpet munchers who got married, or these Peter Puffers who got married and living their happily gay after, then you need to reach out to the Hudsman, guaranteed Philly's best gay dating coach just for you.
There goes the monetization.
Peter Puffers?
Hey, I thought we took the music out of that.
To all the Crucible Raiders who arrived, it's an inside joke. He's not actually a gay dating coach. He is a dating coach.
Canceled. Stop deering. Stop deering.
Yeah. Realize that this is pretty tongue-in-cheek, and we sacrifice our monetization for the fun of it.
And here's the real promo. Podcast with Glenn Laurence. And on tonight's episode, we got special guest, the beautiful Hime Marie. But you don't know, me and Hime, we used to be a thing back in the day. We met on a photo shoot back when I was competing.
That kind of looks like what I wore to the ABN award.
Is that a challenge? I just want to see who can rizz her up.
Shoot your shot.
Hime, could you stand up for me? Stand up and do a quick twirl. I just want to see what I'm working with so I know what to talk about.
Push those blinds up just a little bit more.
Damn, girl. You shit out that ass?
First of all, don't ever use the word Riz with me ever again.
Oh, it really gets you going.
But you've definitely done your research, haven't you?
Would you like to play a trivia game? Whatever question you get wrong, you gotta lose a piece of clothing.
Oh, let's see.
What's the average length of an erect penis?
What?
I love these trivia games that we play.
I have no fucking idea. I hope this is going on your OnlyFans, because it's not really that safe for YouTube anymore.
What did I just watch?
And there goes a whole bunch of the viewers that jumped in.
There's kids here, Claire.
That's a good way to screen, isn't it?
No, You guys can only catch those episodes on Patreon. So if you haven't checked them out, you can go to the Patreon, the Late Night Podcast, and sign up and become a member, and then you'll get access to all those crazy videos that we cannot put on YouTube.
Is this what you DM'd me for the last Saturday?
No, I wanted to DM you for something else, but don't worry, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
And chat, just so you know, we have too much fun here. It's not that serious.
Well, so I just got rid of 140 people. My bad, guys.
I know. And our monetization all in 2 videos, Glenn.
We just
All
want to
the
let the
Christians from the
that
Crucible were like, this isn't Christ-like behavior.
we're savages. That's just what we are. You know?
We are savages, and we do believe in the savage.
Hey, no.
Hey, I like the term degenerate.
Some of us are Christians. We just are like, Christians with struggles. Christians
like
that struggle.
Christian savages.
Hey, we're all sinners, am I right?
In order to fight against sin, you must know sin.
Exactly, and I know sin really well.
Know thy enemy.
So, if I was to use the analogy between my Viking son, Glenn there, and myself, has anybody seen the series Vikings? You got this guy, Ragnar Lothbrok. He is not a Christian, but he develops his friendship with this guy, Athelstan, who is a monk from Lindisfarne, right? Devout Christian. Glenn and I are kind of like that. How about that? So, guys, let's go ahead and do our roundtable. It looks like little comms from Donovan here. It looks like we're going to have to wrap it up. So, without further ado, let's just start with a roundtable, and we'll just get right to it. Laurent, you got anything you want to add in this final 100th episode celebration? Please do so now.
Time flies when you're having fun. I didn't realize it was already the 100th episode. As you said, people come and go, and I bid a bright future for the Dragon Ship. So thank you. It's always an honor and a privilege to be among you, gentlemen. Even though it's early here in Japan. I woke up at 2:30 in the morning. It's now like 5, so it's probably time to hit the gym soon. Thank you very much.
You bet. Thank you, Laurent. Let's move along. AJ.
Thank you for the opportunity of being a part of the Dragon Ship for, I think, now almost 50 episodes. I came in around between 50 and 60 is when I started. I do hope to get back to regular streaming at least once a week here next week. And then I think it's May 29th. Join Thor and myself on Vince's channel, Masculine Geek, for the Drew Bay, a Advanced Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. Glenn, you want to go ahead and say your final thoughts? Okay, that was good, Glenn. Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate you, Glenn.
Like you. Let's move along to Huds now.
Absolutely. So, for those who don't know, I am actually a dating coach. And yes, I can help you I can help you even if you're gay. I help everybody. So, if you're interested in my services or you just have some basic questions, hit me up on Instagram. That's the best way to reach me, and I'd be more than happy to help.
And if that doesn't work, you can get a hold of Glenn, and he can pray the gay away for you.
Yeah. There you go. And I just have to say, thank you again, Thor. This has been really powerful, what you've put together. The fact that we've reached 100 episodes is crazy to think about. And just seeing the evolution and where we're going, it really truly is a positive message for men. And I just love being able to share that information and help men live to their fullest potential and have the best lives possible.
Excellent. Thank you, Huds. Appreciate having you on board. Glenn, are you back up yet? Did you want to add something? Without slamming Huds? Okay. Guess not. Mike Steele, what's going on, man?
Thank you very much, Thor, for the invite to 100 episodes down, 100 more to go. Thank you, everyone. Shout out from the City of Sin, Las Vegas, Nevada. This has been DragonShip 100!
Go! Excellent. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. And we're going to look forward to some upcoming episodes from you for sure. And Nuke, what a pleasure, man. You got final things to add? Anything you want to share?
From the resident Loki of the Dragon.
Yes.
Is that because you're black?
Well, it's because I mess with people, and have you seen my Twitter? Is it more?
You're an absolute trickster. Your Twitter is ridiculous.
Seen it. I get STDs from your Twitter.
Whoa.
That's kind of gay.
Yeah.
Oh my!
All I got to say is 100 more.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Definitely a bunch. Yep. Awesome. And of course, Taro, your final thought?
Final thought. Well, as I said, one of my shortcomings before in my machinima days was I didn't ask people to subscribe. So I'm going to post a link in the channel right now. Please subscribe to my YouTube. I am trying to get monetized, and there will be more content on the way.
Oh, we could do that today. Yep. We can monetize you today.
That would be fantastic. Appreciate that. Paul, you're sitting in an amazing DragonShip studio.
Look at this place.
Look at you.
This is crazy.
Final thoughts, brother.
Yeah. So if for a lot of you guys that are new, just tuning in, you know, there's a lot of channels out there in the men's, you know, space. A lot of it's entertainment. A lot of it won't help you. Right. This is one of those shows that even though we had a lot of fun today, these are one of those shows where you can come here and get the basics and we'll actually help you in whatever you want to accomplish. So definitely hit that subscribe button, no matter whose channel you're watching it on. Guys, get a copy of my book. Use your next Audible credit on it. It's available on Audible. RP Thor did the narration for it. It's called Everything I Wish I Knew When I Was 18. It's a handbook for life. It will not only teach you how to get the girls, it'll teach you how to get your finances in order. So I saw a meme that I posted today talking about the average income that you need to make in order to live in a comfortably live in the United States by state, right? And it was like an ungodly amount, you know, for each state. And I was like, this is bullshit. You don't need to make that much money.
Are you talking about the family of four one?
You know? Yeah, it didn't even say family of four. It just said a family. And I'm like,
it says right up in the corner. It's like very small print. Family of four, 2 adults and a family and 2 kids.
It is bullshit. It's like if you are smart with your money, you could get by with way less if you're not trying to keep up with the Joneses and stuff like that. So anyway, get my book. It'll teach you just how to get your life in financial order. It's very step by step. I show you how to invest for retirement and stuff like that. And then after you get all your money squared away, we'll show you how to get some pussy, right? That's why you guys all come to these channels anyway. And then tune into the podcast on Monday. I've been doing the Book of Puck series. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Book of Puck, it's a classic book in the space that is really a compilation of forum posts by a guy going by the name of Puck. And it's just a very fundamental book in this space if you guys really want to get back to basics. And I've been going, you know, chapter by chapter. Some of these chapters I'm reading. Monday's episode is such a long chapter that I'm breaking it down into the concepts of the chapter. So tune into that and then get the book and read along, and maybe you'll actually learn something.
Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate that. Glenn, we offered it earlier. You must have stepped away. Did you want to find out?
Oh, no, I had work to do, you guys.
No worries.
What do I think? I think we're gonna do another 100 episodes if I don't get us canceled by then. You know, so I think you're gonna continue to see new guys come up here, new guys leveling up. A lot of tongue-in-cheek stuff. You know, I'm still gonna call Hud's gay. You know, he's Philly's best gay dating coach, but it's okay. You know, look at these guys. We have guys from all walks of life. We got a midget with a beard. I mean, I've always wanted a midget with a beard, and I have one now. You know,
glad I can help you, Glenn. Glad I can help you. And you saw it all on display anyways, so you know what you're getting into.
Let's not talk about that. We're not going there. Oh my gosh, can't do that right now. We got you know, Laurent. I mean, you know, Laurent is the coolest person on this panel. You have no idea. He comes up with some of the best code names for you. I mean, he branded me the ambassador of toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
that is the legend.
Dude, he called me one time just randomly, and we had like a 2-hour conversation just one night.
Yeah, no, like, so I mean, everybody on here is from different walks of life. We all don't have the same view on everything. But see, this is what a community is supposed to do. Not everybody's supposed to be an echo chamber. We disagree, right. You know, but you know, our intentions are to level each other up, help each other get better, and this is what we do here. You know, this is not a, you know, come sign up and suck our dick course. This is like, hey, you want to level up, you want some actionable information?
Well,
Here
now
you
we have
go.
to make one of those.
Well, you can do that. You're in Vegas. What stays in Vegas happens in Vegas, and nobody knows about it. So that's your thing.
Oh my.
Cool.
But you know, that's all I got to say. Until
Thanks,
the next
man.
time.
Really appreciate that, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close this out, but I want to say a couple of things real quick. Remember, we are that rising tide here, and the fun thing about this sort of stuff, we took a little time extra today. Keep in mind, in the future, part of this cyclical thing that's going on right now is you're going to see an increase in infighting in our space at this point. It's part of the natural evolution that seems to take place every so many years, particularly around elections, because there is so much money being spent on media, news, to basically elevate everybody into a very argumentative position. This is done on purpose. It's not a conspiracy theory. This is done absolutely on purpose for gain. And for that gain, follow the money, whatever you want. As soon as it calms down after the first of the year, you'll see us still here in probably a much better position to get our information out. Everybody's on edge now, and they want to automatically, have a superior need to be right, and they're willing to really argue over those principles right now to the most ridiculous point. Just ignore that. Enjoy the shows. And 100th episode, man, I'm really proud we got this far. And because this isn't really easy. None of us really get paid or anything like that. So there's not the incentive for that. Although some of the guys are, really starting to push into where this could be, kind of a side gig. And it's useful. To me, it's much more important than that. I've made lifelong friends, and I've developed an understanding, having been in this community, kind of like Nuke, way back into the mid 2000s in So Suave, Rouge V, all of those things. I still talk to a guy here and there. So there's always that opportunity for the new guys to come in and get some information and some entertainment. With that, I appreciate everybody that jumped in. We're going to do an episode with Donovan in the future, just so that we can showcase him again. I think it's time. MLD and Troy reached out to me. They're willing to do shows where we get to showcase them. So I'll coordinate with the rest of the hosts, because they have shows they need to coordinate and want to do as well. So you got a lot to look forward to in the next 100 episodes. With that, guys, I'm going to take you out right now. Thanks everybody in the chat for joining. The Crucible guys, thank you, Andrew and Rachel Wilson. We appreciate the work that you're doing, and it's quite entertaining. So fantastic. I got to finish that Timcast where Rachel's on. So my wife really liked that. So we'll have to watch that, and we'll report back. See you guys later. Skull.
Masculinity is in crisis. What are we to do? We need to acquire a dominant masculine presence. Now available on Amazon. Masculinity is in crisis. Men's masculine behaviors and traits have been suppressed by popular culture. Why has it become so popular to shame, guilt, insult, masculinity, and masculine behaviors? After 50 to 70 years of this has resulted in a very large subset of men who have become weak, useless, and crisis. Pathetic state for boys and men that leads to depression and violent despair. A dominant masculine presence addresses this very dilemma for the individual man, and it firmly establishes why this is what is desperately needed by the individual man today. In this book, clearly defined masculine traits and behaviors and the emotional durability provided by traditional masculinity are presented as a guide to what every man should embed into his identity. Putting these principles and behaviors into practice will motivate and direct your path step to step to create for yourself an authentic, dominant masculine presence.